Yeah, dude, I always gotta rep the Kill Crew. I love that brand. I don't know if you know this, but they're ran by, or they were. I don't know if they still are. They're pretty big now, but up until at least the beginning of this year, I feel like they were only ran by 2 people.
Just 2 people?
Just 2 people.
That's crazy, man.
Obviously, they probably have people like manufacturing their stuff.
Yeah.
But they do all the shipping, all the everything, like all the logistics, like emailing, everything. I'm pretty sure, like for the longest time, it was only ran by 2 people. They were very proud of it. Like they would send you, stuff like letting you know. But I've always just fucked with their brand. I think their stuff is awesome.
That sounds so authentic, brother. Imagine you getting it and it's like a handwritten letter. Like, we made this for you for our 2-man shop.
Yeah, and they do the ship things so quickly, sometimes same day. Like if you order early in the day, those ship it same day. And sometimes you get it in a few days. Like they're on top of it. Like shout out, I mean, I fucking love Kill Crew, so we buy a ton of their stuff. I got so many different pairs of shorts. I'm actually surprised I'm not in Kill Crew shorts right now, but these Gymshark shorts are pretty comfy. So
yeah, you got your gun attire on right now.
Oh yeah, you know,
representing.
You know, we the people. Shout out. Man. They made my my holster that I carry with. That's where I got this from.
You know, I could finally start carrying again, bro.
Finally?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you?
I was on probation, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
So it was during college. It was my college final year, bro. And I went to Killeen.
Yeah,
that's why I fucked up.
That's where you fucked up.
I went to Killeen because my dealer, he just disappeared, bro, off the face of the map.
Damn.
Like I used to hit him on Snapchat, and he used to hit me back. Boom, boom. Next thing you know, he just disappeared. I hit my homie. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm gonna hit my homie up, and I was like, I need some green on me. He said, come down. I came down there. We got some. We smoked the blunt in the car. I'm driving back, bro. I don't know why, bro. I see the cop behind me, and he just stand behind me. I'm like, fuck. Tell me why I started getting a little panic attack. So I pull into the gas station thinking, all right, the cop not gonna mess with me. I pull in, he pull in, but he doesn't pull behind me immediately. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Some tell me, go into the gas station, maybe like flush the weed or something. I would swallow the weed. I didn't do nothing. I just sat in the car and just chilled for a little minute. Next thing you know, he pulled behind me, turned the lights on. Whoop, 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 whoop. They pulled me out, bro. I told him what the weed and everything was. I'm about to hide everything. I'm not about to be sitting here and be like, I ain't got nothing on me, bro. I ain't got nothing on me.
You roll down the windows and fucking just smoke just everywhere.
But like we just smoked the blunt in the car, so you could smell like weed was in the car, and it was like the weed was in plain sight. So I ain't try too hard to hide it. But man, you know, I told him yeah, I'm a senior in college. I'm just my finals is coming up. I'm just trying to like have a little weed so I could study, which was the truth. One of the cops, he was very understanding to me. The other one didn't give a fuck. And plus, my gun was in the car too. You know, it was you know how that got me caught up.
Yep.
The weed they would have let me go for.
Sure.
It was the weed and the gun, which made it unlawful carry. Yep. Which then that got me locked up in jail for that day, which was crazy, bro. The craziest shit was my job I work today, type shit. My first day was the next day, and I was like, oh shit, they're gonna put me in jail, and I'm gonna miss my first day. I was so mad because I'm like, I get to finally be a video editor as my dream job, and I get arrested the day before it. Boy, I was heated. I was mad at myself. I'm sitting in the jail cell, just like, how the fuck did I do that shit? Why the fuck did I do that shit? And then I remember the morning came, and then they called me out. They said, Mr. Spears, yeah, your bail got taken care of. I guess they took care of it. I guess the officer said something. Since I was in good conduct and I was cooperative, he felt bad for me and he helped me out.
Aw.
He got me out, brother.
Hell yeah. That's not a terrible story. Could have been worse.
It's not a terrible story. I still got to make the job. I still got to, go to the job and shit. So I still got the job to this day. But man, that was a terrible story, man. I just got off probation yesterday.
Damn. So wait, how long were you on probation for?
This year. I had to do like 24 hours of community service.
Just a year?
Yeah.
When the fuck did you graduate college?
What was it?
I've known you now for like 3-4 years.
2023. I just didn't tell nobody. I really don't be making everything too big, bro. I just be like, it's not a big deal, bro. It's not a big deal for me.
That's crazy. So I've been just hanging out with somebody on probation this entire time, Rodney?
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck's up, man?
Not much, bro.
How you do?
Yeah, man, it's a good day. It's a beautiful day, bro.
Yeah?
I'm just happy to be here on this planet, bro.
Ah, bro. Every day.
Every day.
Every day I walk in, I walked in and got coffee today. He was like, "How you doing today?" I was like, "I'm alive. Doing great. What do you mean? You know, doing great. Like, just grateful every single day. What else? What's the alternative? That's been the theme of all these episodes. Like, what's the alternative? It's gonna be a miserable fuck. I think that's why it's not good.
You know, a lot of people have been asking me because they said, "Rodney, you have such good energy and you're always so positive." And they're like, "Why, bro?" I'm like, "Bro, life is just short." I know a few months ago, like 6 days before my birthday, I watched my dog pass away.
Oh shit! Dude.
I know, bro. It was very sad. You know, I brought him to my dad's land. I buried him and stuff like that. So you know, after that, man, I just stopped really being sad, bro. I mean, I was sad when he passed away, but I tried to be as happy as I could. Man, life's short. Yeah. He had a short life. I tried to give him the best life I could. So I try to enjoy every moment, even when it's hell and I'm going through hell. I try to enjoy every moment of it and just experience life for what it is and enjoy it for what it is.
It's a beautiful way to live.
Thank you, bro.
Right? It's you can be sad that it's over, or you can be happy that it happened. Right? And how old was your dog?
He was 7.
7. What happened?
I think he got really sick at the end. Oh. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't really afford to take him to the vet like that. And I was broke myself, bro, struggling, trying to get my bills paid and to have to take care of a dog. I think it was just wrong of me. I mean, I take responsibility. I think it was just wrong of me to have a dog in the moment when knowing I couldn't afford one. But, you know, I let emotions just let me get one when I was younger. So it's just, you look at yourself and you look back like, damn. So maybe like next time, I'll be more financially responsible, get in a better financial situation before I go try to invest in a dog again. Because I can't put a dog through that same situation that happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. I get that, dude. That's why I've always been like my parents have, 4 or 5 dogs. And it sounds great and, have all these dogs running around or even kids, right? Whatever it may be. But I can understand what you're saying because I've always been like, nope, I just want the one dog. So that way I can give that one dog the life that I want to give her. Same thing with baby Logan. We don't have any plans or want to necessarily have any more kids for that exact same reason. The shit's expensive. Life is expensive, right? Life is expensive, dude. It's only getting more and more expensive every day. And in order for me to be able to provide the quality of life that I want baby Logan to have, and same thing with Arya, is that really you can only have, I can only afford one. I couldn't imagine having multiple, right? And then and still also be able to be the best version of myself, allow Taylor to be the best version of her. All of it costs money, right? Supplements cost money, training costs money, but all those things, good food, going to the farmer's market, all these things cost money, and it could be looked at as like, oh, you just don't want to make those sacrifices. And a little bit of that is true, absolutely. But on the flip side, it's like all of those things really help me stay grounded, like you say. Like how you're saying, really focusing on the beautiful things of life and those things. Like all those things play a role in me continuing to have that point of view as well. Like in sharing that, it's like those things help, right? Eating the right foods, going to the farmer's market. There's nothing I look forward more to every week than that Saturday morning. I fucking love it.
I be seeing your posts on Instagram, bro. You be like repping all that stuff heavy, bro. I be like, bro, Jordan eat good. Bro, like every time I look up, this man got a steak. I'm like, I be low key dry hating. I'm like, bro, that shit look good as hell, bro.
Dude, I get the steaks from Butcher Box.
You do?
Yeah. So I order. We both get a box each. Okay. So it's $169 a month, and we both get a box each. And so mine is filled with mostly like ribeyes and picanhas.
Yeah.
And then her box, we fill it with all the other meats. Like we'll do chicken tenders, we'll do ground beef, we'll do apple gouda sausages. We've been getting a pork butt recently because then we just throw it in the crock pot, right? And so it's super easy and it'll make a ton of, make like 3-4 servings for the two of us. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that's where we get our meat from. Mostly butcher box. The meat that I get at the farmer's market, ironically, is the meat that's for Arya.
I'm looking like you pointing over here towards it.
Yep. I thought she was saying, no, she's behind me. Yeah, and then we get the Hackmore, side meats. Like we'll get their jalapeno sausage, their pan sausage. Shout out Hackmore. Fucking love you guys. Their meat is fantastic. All of her cows are Wagyu. Her stuff is fantastic, but I couldn't afford to buy all of my meat from her. Okay. Like that would be really expensive. But I do what I can and get what I can from her. Like I said, I do the jalapeno sausages. Like breakfast stuff is usually what I get from her. But the ground beef that I get from the farmer's market, from JT Cattle, that's for Arya. It has it's the caveman blend, so it has the ground beef mixed with the liver and the hearts. So that's all blended together, and then that's what I give her.
It's very good for your dog right there.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, and again, that goes back to your point, right? If I had 2 dogs, there's no way in hell I could do that for both dogs. But for me, and how well I take care of myself, and how ingredient conscious I am, it would be hypocritical of me to then feed my dog kibble, knowing that eventually that's probably going to lead to cancer or lead to something else, just like it does in humans, right? Us eating processed foods then just leads us down this long list of possibilities and other things that come from that. And so in order for me to give Arya the life that I want to be able to provide for her, I can only have 1 dog.
I respect that, brother.
Right.
I'm glad you understand that, man. Like, I wish I would have understood that, like, that decision way before I would have got a dog. Because I kept telling myself during the whole process, you know, I wish I would have waited. I definitely wish I would have waited. So.
How long did you have the dog for?
I had him for about a good 5 years, bro.
Yeah, okay. Think the dog still lived a good life? A happy dog?
No, he was a very happy dog.
Yeah.
He was a happy dog.
Did you get the dog from a breeder or from the pound?
I got it from the pound.
Oh, well then I think...
I got it for $1, bro.
Yeah, $1. Then I mean, I think what you're saying is definitely valid, right? But I think on the flip side, what was the alternative for that dog?
I think he got to live a good, happy life.
Right. The dog could have been in the pound, could have been euthanized. Like, there's, other worse things that can happen versus getting 5 great years with you. Right? Because I know you love that dog.
Oh, all my heart, bro.
Yeah, I see you around the dogs when you come over here. Yeah, dogs are great. Yeah, man. Like, I think, I think the way we're wired, you and I and the people that we surround ourselves with, we constantly look for that accountability and, like, how we can do better. And we get real hard on ourselves at times. And I think, I definitely hear what you're saying, but I think giving the dog a good life, even if it was maybe quote unquote a little shorter because of whatever the case may be, I don't think that's a negative thing.
Man, thank you for the pickup, brother. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, dude. So, you just had a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's tell the people. So, you train at John's. That's how we know each other. We've known each other for a bit. You've trained Muay Thai with me, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu. We've been training together for a long time. You finally stepped into the cage, made that debut that you've been talking about a long time. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You got to step in. Not only did you step into the cage, but you stepped into the greatest amateur promotion in the entire world, probably. I think I could probably say that pretty confidently. Fury Fighting is probably the best amateur promotion and pro promotion, but specifically amateur-wise, the biggest light that I think you could step under. It's intimidating. I'll be the first one to be honest with you. It's intimidating. It is an intimidating venue. The venue that they use in Houston, I haven't seen their other ones, but the one that they use in Houston, it's a legit venue. It's massive. It's 2 stories. There's tons of lights. There's cameras everywhere. It's the real fucking deal. It's a big show.
I remember, bro, I was warming up, bro, because Econ wanted me to come down to the ring. So it was like, we got to get to the ring. We got to get to the ring. We go down to the ring, and I see my opponent in the ring. Like I say, cool. He practicing. I'm watching him, see what he's doing. But also, me and Econ just working on some drills and stuff like that. Man, the camera crew was recording me, and then they had me just constantly playing on the screen when I was just warming up. And I'm like, bro, look at me. My dad's probably looking at me like, that's my boy, because my pops ended up coming to the show.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
He made the drive.
Yeah, he made the drive. I was so happy to see him, bro. Brought tears to my eyes to
That's
see him,
great.
man.
That's awesome. That's what it's about, dude. You know, it is a beautiful thing to do. It's something that no one can ever take away from you. It's something that you can forever be proud of, because it is so much more than this violent act that people, if you don't train, you don't see it for what it is, but it is a testament of the hardest work that you can possibly do. And it is, that you're about to step into this place, this cage, with another human being who is there to cause you strong physical pain. And if the ref wasn't there, ultimately you're fighting to the death. And the work that goes into it, cardio, strength and conditioning, training, striking, training the ground, wrestling, wall work, all these things, 3-month camps, all for this one moment that, if you're lucky, it lasts 15 minutes. Actually, no, amateurs last 9 minutes, if you're lucky.
Yeah, they usually go by quick. They usually
goes by
fast
quick.
Knockouts, brother.
Yeah.
That's all I was
especially
seeing
in
that
those
night.
4-ounce gloves.
That's all I was seeing that night. Knockout after knockout.
How does that make you feel when you're about to go in and you just see people ahead of you getting starched?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, my armpits was sweating like a motherfucker, boy. I was like, oh, I gotta go out there. I watched one of the dudes out there get his ass whooped because because he came to me. I know you might think this is a terrible story. He came to me, he forgot his cup, and I was like, bruh. He said, please, bro, I need a cup. Man, can I use your cup, please, bro? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, I don't want to shed nut juices, bro. I don't want to shed nut juices, bro. He pleaded to me, bro, and the kind side of me said, bro, I took that shit out and I said, bro, get this shit back to me, please. He was like, he said, I'm the 3rd bout, you the 5th bout, I'm going to get it right back to you, boy. I was watching him go out there. He did a good job. They were going back and forth then. Next thing you know, boom, 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 on that ground, and he got choked out.
I think I saw that fight. I think I turned it on the 3rd bout. Yeah, I turned it on 2 bouts before you, and then I watched most of the rest of the card.
You saw that dog, that dude who got his arm dislocated, like, bro?
Bruh. Did I?
That
dog.
Crazy.
Tap. That man had a year to tap. Tap. I think that was a pro fight. So I think he got paid.
It was a pro fight.
It was a pro fight. I think you got paid. I think you got paid, but you didn't get paid enough. Because that is a disgusting break.
Bro, I got to meet him like in the hotel the day before. Because he saw me shadowboxing in front of the green screen, and he thought my boxing was impressive.
Oh, nice.
And he sat down with me at the table in the hotel, and I was, we were just chilling, had a conversation. He was from France and stuff, like telling me like he was over here. He had fun showing me his children and stuff. So we had a good little conversation, and I wished him the best of luck. It broke my heart seeing that happen to him. So I was like, bro, I just built that connection with bro.
You don't play MMA. How many times you heard me yell that while we're fucking getting ready in training camp, or while I'm helping y'all get ready, or I was coaching y'all? You don't play MMA. We play jiu-jitsu, right? It can be playful. We can play. Someone catches you or something, you immediately just tap. We let go. We re-dap up, and we can play. You don't play MMA.
No, I learned that the hard way. Shout out to my boy Mitchell. But my boy Mitchell was in fight camp. We put on small gloves, and I think Coach Onesso said, let's pick up the intensity a little bit. Boy, Mitchell cracked my ass in the eye. That was the first time I ever got cracked like that with some small gloves. Boy, I didn't know that shit hurt. I'm glad that happened in training and didn't happen in the fight. Because then that made me realize, I'm like, okay, that wasn't too bad, but that shit really did hurt. Like, be careful. Really be careful.
Dude, Liam, you remember Liam? Liam Kim?
Yeah.
He fought August 30th.
Okay.
Fought for Melee. And he hit this dude right in the orbital. I don't know if he broke the dude's orbital or what happened, but he hit him right in the orbital and the guy just dropped. Didn't knock him out, but he smacked him in the orbital. So I don't know if it broke his orbital or what, but again, you don't play MMA. It's not a fucking game. Right? It is not. It's not a game. Like, you are going in there with somebody, again, who is trying to cause you bodily injury.
Yeah, they trying to hurt your ass.
Yeah, and if the ref wasn't there, you're fighting to the death, essentially, with rules. Right? There's just some rules in between that just allow you to, not do something like eye gouging or something like that. But outside of that, dude, I'm trying to pummel your face into the cage. Like, into the floor of the cage. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the goal. And the sparring in training camp has to simulate that the best it can.
Yeah, it has to be as close to the real thing as possible, brother. You have to have people trying to take your fucking head off, respectfully.
Yeah.
But, they still love you like a brother after it's over with. So, man, it's just, I can tell you that firsthand, man. If you're not getting that, then it can be a detriment to you. You can overcome that hill, because you can always get to that hill and be like, what are you going to do in the fight? So definitely a lot more hard rounds would have definitely benefited.
Well, some people have that. Like, some people have that when they step in there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They're just aggressive as fuck, right? But not everybody really has that. But you have to be aware, like you said, you've never really been cracked with the small gloves. He hits you in the eye, and you're like, damn, that shit kind of hurt, right? You don't want to find that out in the fight. No. You're so grateful that your partner smacked you like that, right? And it sounds so counterintuitive when you try to explain these to people who are just started training. Maybe they hadn't competed yet, or maybe they only have a fight or no fights, whatever it is, and you're trying to explain to them, like, your responsibility as a training partner for someone who's in training camp is to ensure, like, if I don't beat your ass respectfully, I care for you. If I don't personally beat your ass, I'm doing you a disservice by letting off the gas or letting up or taking too much care of you, because I care about you. I'm not going to purposely hurt you. I'm not going to rip a submission. I'm not going to knock you out purposefully. But you're about to step in a ring where a person is going to do that purposefully. And if I don't give you the best simulation of that during training camp, that person is going to give you a fucking rude awakening. Especially if it's one of those dudes that don't give a fuck.
Most definitely. That sat on my mind after Dayton's fight for a while, bro. After Dayton went up there and what happened, bro, I felt so bad because I was like, man, maybe I didn't go hard enough in fight camp for him. I feel like I really failed my bro.
100%. I felt the same way. I know I didn't go hard enough. Like, I know I didn't put it on him. Like, that is the reality of being a training partner of someone in fight camp. You have to try to hurt them. Again, respectfully. But you have to put it on them because the guy who they're about to step in there with, or the girl who they're about to step in with, is going to. And God forbid it's one of those dudes. I think it was on that Fury card. I think he just absolutely starched. I don't remember, but what I was watching, maybe I'm thinking of something else, but there was an MMA fight I was watching recently where he choked him unconscious and then just just chunked him off of him, right? Like, there are people out there who, when they go in there, they are really trying to hurt you, right? It's just like the same thing in jiu-jitsu competitions. There's two types of people. There's the people that get the bite on the heel, and then they start to apply pressure. And then if you don't tap, then they break it. But then There's other people who grab the heel and they just fucking boom. And they're trying to break it from the get-go, the second they grab it. Right? Those are the two types of people in competition. And, you know, it's very easy to say that everyone should be the first person. But if you're the first person and you slowly start to apply that braking pressure and then they slip their heel and then you lose the submission, now you might lose the match. And if you're a pro grappler or if you're a pro MMA fighter and you don't try to finish that as violently as you did and you lose, well, now what if your career's over? What if you never get booked for another fight or never get booked for another match, right? So it's very easy to like criticize someone who just jumps on the heel and just absolutely obliterates it, because obviously that's breaking the knee of their opponent, and that's an awful injury, and that's a $6,000 surgery.
Oh yeah, that's
right. And
real big setback.
And so it's very easy to be like, man, fuck that guy. But then on the flip side, like, that is what that person is there to do.
But to play off of that, brother, how do you flip that switch? How does somebody who's just not as aggressive and not trying to go in there and rip somebody's shit up, how do they flip that switch to be that killer?
I think you have to... You know, it's tough because it's something that I struggle with.
Yeah.
Right? When I was fighting Muay Thai, I really didn't... That switch was pretty easy. Like, or if I was doing MMA sparring, the switch was pretty easy, but I'm struggling with this in jiu-jitsu, like flipping that same kind of switch. I think I did a little bit better at it this last match. But I think it's the reminder. It's reminding yourself that it's okay. I think is the first one, right? That it is what you're signing up for. The other person knows. You know. It's just like when we go and train. If we were training and we're having a hard round, and I grab your ankle and you twist the wrong way, or if I hit you a little hard and you get a little rocked, or even if I was to knock you out accidentally, you don't wake up and you're not mad at that person. 9 times out of 10, right?
A little salty, but not
right.
bad.
Like 9 times out of 10, you're not necessarily mad at the training partner.
Yeah.
Right. You're probably upset that you got caught, or you're upset that you didn't tap fast enough, or whatever it was. Right. That I think you have to carry that same thought process going into the fight, knowing that it's okay. I think also like having somebody close to you also tell you it's okay. Like they're not going to think of you differently. Also helps with that. But I think it's also just the reminding yourself, like, now we both know what we signed up for. That this is a possible outcome.
You both signed the waiver.
Yeah, like, it is the possible outcome.
I don't know, bro. I feel like when I flip that switch and, like, you let that darkness out, I really see myself as a monster. And I know it's just like, you know, there's 2 sides of your personality. There's a darker side and there's a lighter side. And you have to embrace the darker side of your personality. But I just try not to take pleasure sometimes in that. And it'd be harder for me since I'm always on the lighter side of my personality, since I'm always trying to be good and be a good person, to just flip that switch and just be a killer. I know it's in me because I've been in situations which then brought that dog out of me. But it's just like, how do I bring it out when I need to instead of just in emergency situations? You feel me?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this is a really big. I think this is a really good thing to talk about because I think, I think it's the difference between being nice and kind. I try more so to be kind than I am nice. Nice typically ends up in not always the best things, right? Especially when there's times where you need to be a little bit more assertive. I think another aspect of it is society tells us that dark side is always bad, right? Like, I don't know if you recently saw in Canada, this guy was defending his house.
Yeah.
A guy broke in. He killed the guy, and he is now being charged for murder.
What the fuck?
And then the police chief, Taylor can pull this up, the police chief came on and did a press conference and said, it is not your responsibility to defend yourself. If someone breaks into your house, you should lock yourself in a room and call the cops.
Man, it don't take much to break through that door, bro. And
So
they coming for you.
That is what society is constantly now trying to program us to be like. And we can go down many reasons of why that might be. But that is ultimately the thought process, is that we should be extremely non-violent people. And I think overall, yes, we shouldn't be violent. However, every man should be capable of violence. What separates good and bad, or good and evil, is the people who know when to use that side and know not to when to use that side. So to wrap that back around what you're saying, I think you need to can you go to Twitter and find the quote from the police chief? Dun, 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 dun. Por favor. You need to remind yourself that you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are a good person. And that you, when you step into that cage and you allow some of that darkness to come out in order to help you do what is necessary in order to win that fight, you need to remind yourself that it is okay and that it does not change who you are. Fun fact, I almost pulled out of my very first Muay Thai tournament.
Wait, what happened?
Because of this.
Okay.
This exact dilemma. It was a month away from the tournament. I got really stoned. And I had this internal battle, exactly what you're talking about. That darkness. It feels, when it starts to bubble up inside you, it starts to feel really, it's scary. Because I know that I had, like, there's a flip, there's a switch. And I know you've seen it, like, there's a certain time, like in sparring, when that switch gets flipped, the look on my face is completely different.
Oh yeah, I know when you lock in, because I remember back in the early days when you flip that switch, beep 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 beep. All right, Jordan, calm down, bro. Calm down, bro.
Hold on, hold this stop. Go back up to the top one, please. So, this is not the same. This is not the same guy. This is from September 5th. Just look up. Take out the police chief. I don't know if it was actually the police chief.
Canada now openly counts citizens to be the best victim possible.
September 5th. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. So this is real, y'all. Like, he said to lock yourself in a room and call the cops, and it is not your responsibility to protect your house. I be damned. I'm putting 3 in you. I'm sorry.
If I got kids and you come into my house,
you're dead.
You're dead.
Sorry.
Is it? And
I'm not no, I'm not sorry, actually.
No, I'm not sorry at all.
No.
You're going to die.
Yeah, you're done. Sorry. You picked the wrong. I'm sorry that you picked the wrong house. I guess that's what I'm sorry about.
Yeah.
You got me fucked up. There's just not a chance.
If you're going to take mine away from me, brother, because we only have this one life, man. Like, people think this shit is a game when it comes to life. Hell no.
It might have been. It might have been that guy. I don't remember exactly what he looks like. I don't remember exactly what it looked like. But that quote at the top was it. It was the right quote. It just was a different video attached to it, but it was the right quote. Yeah, I mean, life is short, dude. Right before this, Charlie Kirk was, I guess it's not official if he's dead or not dead yet.
It's official.
It's official now? Fuck, dude.
Rest easy, man. Rest easy.
Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, man. Our society is sick. I'll go back to my story. I know that story. I won't lose that train of thought. I'll go back to it in a second, but our society is sick, and there's a lot of people crying out for help. They're constantly, these people who are constantly virtue signaling on Instagram, who are posting things that are like gotcha moments. I believe those people are just they're crying out for help.
Attention is a hell of a drug, brother.
It is. It is a hell of a drug.
Too much, bro. Social media and everything is making people crave this too much. People are getting phones. I think people are getting phones way too young.
There's definitely that aspect.
But it's just learning how to properly navigate and use that. Everybody doesn't need access to that sort of material because their brain is not mature enough to handle that type of all that information.
It's true. It is true, and we're becoming so sick as a country. Where again, we were talking about this before the episode, where we just hate people off of no good reason. And it's even further than like race or anything. Now it's like beliefs. Now you think you hate this person that you've never even met, most of them. And it's just leading to these killings or these mass shootings. And we are so tribal. And then right now there are people who are like, we're on the good side and we're the only ones on the good side. And they don't see the hypocrisy of that. And it's definitely done on both sides, but it is exacerbated by the left right now. 1,000%. And people now are just like, like they're now condoning certain acts as long as it's done against the other group. It's so us versus them now. Mm-hmm. Instead of us all just being Americans.
We're just trying to find ways to separate us.
It's working. We're in the greatest psyop of all time.
Yes, we are.
We're living in it. Not only are we constantly in a psyop now, we're slowly integrating with technology. The only thing is that we currently hold it and not wear it / we do wear it. We currently hold it and wear it, but soon it's just going to be in us. It's going to be and it's already started, right? Neuralink. It's already starting. So we're literally living in a time right now where we are slowly integrating with technology.
You wouldn't want a microchip in you? Maybe they could put a chip in the back of your neck and it improves your brain performance. It allows it to run at 100% capacity.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying this is the reality of what we're living in, and I don't think enough people think about it like that. But we are currently, like everyone says, we are going to merge with technology. No. We're currently merging with technology right now. We are.
Apple Watches.
We're more
glasses. And everything, bro.
Not even on a simpler level. Not even consumerism wise. On a simpler level, in the sense of like everyone is just always just face deep in their phone all day long. And we're we're in our phones all day long. A lot of us don't know our neighbors at all. We don't communicate with the people near us in our actual community. We communicate with people in online communities. And we were talking about this again before the podcast, is that like the people who could affect us the most is going to be our next door neighbors. They could ruin our day or they could make our day a lot better.
You also said they could rob you.
Right? That's the ruin. That's the ruin in your day part, right? Uh-huh. But what I've learned, so I used to live at an apartment complex where we would go to the dog park and we knew just about everybody who lived in a couple apartment radius.
Oh, yeah. Those are beautiful apartments, bro. I know the ones you're talking about, bro.
Yeah. So right there was the dog park, right? The people who came to the dog park largely were the people who lived in that area surrounding the dog park. Not everybody from some people would walk from the further up on the apartment complex, but the majority of the folks all lived in that, in the dog park, near the dog park, right? And what I learned and what I started to notice was the more and more I knew all of those people that lived around me, the less I was worried about the days where, oh shit, I forgot to lock my door, or leaving something outside, or, little things, right? Little things that would cause you some stress or cause you some anxiety, or maybe even maybe even make you turn around, like if you're on your way to work or whatever it was, right? And I just started to notice that the more and more that I knew the people living near me, the safer I felt. I was less on edge. You're less worried, because now it's not that those people could not be who you think they are. That's always a chance, right? If I can take that out, let's talk about generally.
Yeah.
You know that they're probably pretty decent human beings with a decent set of morals. Doesn't matter what their religious beliefs are. Doesn't matter what their political beliefs are. But I've had conversations with them day in and day out, and I'm like, oh, these are decent folks. Right? So now I feel way more comfortable, feel way safer. And I think largely the people who have the most anxiety, the most depression, are typically the people who socialize in person the least. And it does make sense, because they're online, they see all this negative shit, and they assume that the people closest to them in their community are like what they're seeing online.
Okay, so they're projecting at the end of the day.
There's definitely, yeah. I think there's definitely a little bit of that. I think you're projecting that, right? You're projecting what you're seeing online into your reality, where you're constantly seeing all these negative things online.
Yeah.
And it's not that those negative things aren't happening, but it's just that fact that information now travels so quickly, it seems like negative things are constantly happening. Shoot, I'm almost falling a victim of that this week with the stabbing on the subway, and then now Charlie Kirk getting shot and killed. It almost feels that way, right? And it's very easy to fall down that path and be like, now I can't talk to this group of people, or now I can't talk to these people, or whatever the case may be. And so you start projecting that feeling. And in reality, if you just talked to them, you'd realize that the majority of us are fine folk. Like, most of us aren't going to rob you. Most of us aren't going to kill you. Most of us aren't going to do this horrific shit that you see online. But you will never know that if you don't just start talking to the people around you.
You're always seeing the 1%. You're always seeing, and when you have it online, it's amplified. It's always seen in your face. It's always blown up. So it makes it seem something bigger than what it is.
Absolutely.
And it's just like I said, you project that onto the world. I mean, I had the problem. I wouldn't say no problem with that. I know it was always going through a phase when I was younger of just getting a lot of bad information and then projecting that on my world. But I think it was just getting out there into the world myself, especially with my photography. My photography helped me get over that, because I used to just walk around the city of Austin like almost every day during college and like try to just talk to people and take pictures of them and take portraits of them. That helped me get a better understanding of the world of like, people aren't like evil, nor people aren't as despicable as you think they are. It's like, just open your mind and actually get out there, because there's a lot of stories that people can really just like tell you, bro. I mean, I remember my last roommate, bro. Shout out to my boy Sujan. He was from Nepal. He ended up moving his parents in our little place when we was roommates together. I got to meet people from a different country, a different culture, spoke a different language. So it helped me get a better appreciation for people around the world or what they going through. Man, that was just a good experience, bro. It was just meeting people. That's really what was my mom really, which sparked the little fire in me to travel a little bit and want to go out there and see the world, especially when it made me join the military. But I think it was just from meeting those folks and like experiencing their holidays and eating their food and just watching what they're going through on a daily basis that just helped me really want to be like, yeah, I want to travel. It really helps expand your mind, like seeing others, and I really want to go out there and maybe give away my photography as much as I can, because photography is my passion. So maybe go out there, take pictures of somebody, capture the moments of human history, or just doing videos for people out there. I did say off the podcast I am going to be traveling abroad. I am going to Belize, brother. So the plan got approved. So I do want to go down there and do some videos for people, work with local artists, and like really just try to get their work out there. And I'm not trying to charge. I just do it for the love of the game, bro.
It's beautiful, right? It's it helps you become more compassionate for people, right? And again, it's one of those things that I think society is kind of making us misconstrued is empathy and sympathy. And right now, a lot of people are very sympathetic. And it's doing more harm than it is good. We should be empathetic to people. Right? We should...
What do you mean by that? The first definition. Can you break that down for me?
Yeah, so sympathy is constantly feeling bad for somebody. But what that does is then that negates the accountability side of things. Empathy is understanding where you're coming from, helping you, but not to the point where you get to just perpetually fuck me over. Right? Look at that. That was pretty good of me. Damn, I kind of hit that on the
That's
fucking...
on the money,
Kind of hit that on the fucking money, bro. But for those who can't see the TV, it says empathy is feeling with another person by understanding and sharing their emotions, fostering connection. Sympathy is feeling for someone, acknowledging their misfortune with pity or sorrow from a more distant perspective. And we are becoming a very sympathetic society. A clip of this was Tucker Carlson calling out Mark Cuban on the show the other day. Did you see this?
I ain't see it yet.
So, Mark Cuban, he's been very open on Twitter, very open on Instagram. He's been very, very left-leaning. He provides a lot of money to pharmaceutical companies. He has his own pharmaceutical companies trying to fix our healthcare. And he's been falling in line on every single hot topic, right? Whether it's Ukraine, whether it's gun rights, whatever the hot topic of the left is that moment, he's been falling in line. And nonetheless, he was on a show. He was debating Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson said, should we? Do you agree that we should be sending all this money to Ukraine? And he was like, well, half my family's Ukrainian, so yeah, I definitely think we should help them out. And then Tucker Carlson very calmly says, well, how much money have you sent over there? Like, how much have you donated?
Damn.
Mark Cuban said none. And Tucker Carlson said, see, this is the issue. Everybody always tells everyone to help out or to care, but they're not doing it themselves. A lot of people are virtue signaling. They're trying to show that they're on the right side, that they're on the good side, but they're not doing it themselves. That's being sympathetic, right? Sympathy, again, leads to a feeling where there's no accountability. If I'm sympathetic towards you, you can continue to fuck me over continuously, and I'm going to allow it to continue to happen.
I wouldn't do
because
that
I
to you,
feel
Jordan.
pity. Because I feel pity for you. Because maybe, because your dog died a couple weeks ago. So I'm just gonna be like, Rodney's just really going through it because of this. Yeah. And then the first time happens, and then the second time happens, and the third time happens, right? And that's what we're experiencing right now. A lot of it with this mental health crisis, where a lot of it's just narcissism masked, right? Where everyone's like, oh, you don't know how I feel. No, you just don't understand how I feel. No, you just don't understand. I just have this one thing. I just have this disorder from this and this and this. And like everyone's, fucking self-proclaimed whatever. And it's just yeah. It is leading to this craziness. It's leading to the craziness of the young girl on the subway who was killed by a man who was a 14-time convict.
Jesus.
Who was let out by a non-government organization, a NGO, that is going around state to state, reducing people's sentences. And again, it's one of those things. In theory, this sounds like a fantastic idea because there probably are people locked up, especially for marijuana, possession, things like that, who should probably have their fucking sentences completely thrown away. This sounds like a fantastic idea in theory. But then when it's applied, you see something like this, right? Where
They're charging you first-degree murder.
good.
Possibility of the death penalty. Look at that.
Jesus.
Yeah, so he was a 14-time. He was convicted 14 times. He was in and out of prison 14 times. And he stabs this young lady on the subway. And the people around her were scrolling on their phones and did not help this lady as she was bleeding out.
Nobody heard her screaming, yelling for help.
So she didn't really scream. It was a very odd reaction that she had. She gets stabbed in the neck. We don't have to.
We ain't got to see it. I ain't got to see it.
We don't got to watch it. I've seen it a few times now, unfortunately. So she gets stabbed, as you can see in that photo. She gets stabbed in the neck, and she is clearly in shock and just shells up. She's not screaming. She's just kind of sitting there, and you can kind of tell that she's accepted that this is it. And there are multiple people sitting near her. Not only did this guy stab her and then walk 2 cars down in the subway or on the train, whatever it was, dripping blood the entire time. Multiple people saw him dripping blood.
Yeah, at that point, they said, we're not trying to touch him, bro.
And
we're not trying to touch him.
Well, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But this girl is bleeding out to death, and no one looked up from their phone. And so this touches on multiple points that we're covering here, right? This touches on the fact, again, merging with technology. There's a possibility that they didn't even realize. Unlikely, but when you're face deep in your fucking phone, you start to miss a lot of things.
You really do, bro.
Right? Then it also goes back to projecting the world's problems onto your own reality. And so you are uncompassionate about people in front of you. You are more desensitized, so you're caring less that person got stabbed. You care less just because we see videos of it. We're constantly seeing this awful shit, right?
Bro, like all the time, bro.
Literally saw a close-up of Charlie Kirk getting shot, like it was like this far away. I didn't want to see that.
I can't say the same. I mean to laugh about the situation. I can't say the same.
It's troubling, right? And again, I said this last episode, or I said this the episode before, where we're breaking people so badly to this point. That's what this psyop is doing to us. What we're currently living in, the times that we're living in. MSNBC said Charlie Kirk is decisive, and it was probably a Trump supporter celebrating his gun rights or whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember now. But the media is putting that out. And then there's people who think because they're on the good side and he was on the bad side, the Republican side, that he deserved to die or that he should die. We saw the same thing when Trump was shot. People celebrating it.
That made me sick.
That is a dangerous game. As much as I didn't want Joe Biden to be president, if I watched his head get blown off on TV, that would be awful. I don't want to see that. I don't want that to happen. Just because I disagree with that man. Just because I don't like the policies or his presidency or the fact that, yeah, he wasn't even running it or whatever, right? I'm not gonna... Yeah, MSNBC sickly speculates Charlie Kirk was shot by supporter firing gun in celebration. That's fucking disgusting, MSNBC.
Don't want to see the video. It's pretty disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. And people watch this shit. People still watch Rachel Maddow and that entirely insane news broadcasting. It's not even news. It's just propaganda.
Yeah, I don't even watch the news, brother. I try to stay away from that poison.
It's
whatever
good.
Propaganda they're trying to put out.
Yeah, and then right, yeah. But like I said, that's where society is at right now, right? Society is so divided online that people are projecting that into the reality, and they're not having conversations with just normal people. They just assume based on the way that they look, the way that they dress, right? If I went around with this shirt on there and be like, oh, he's a raging Republican.
They probably would think that, bro.
Right?
You got the beard to match.
White guy, bearded, fucking American flag on his shirt. When did it get politicized to A, wear an American flag, and B, to still be grateful that we live in America? The fact that you can go on Instagram and say, fuck Donald Trump.
It's crazy, bro.
Is crazy.
Most countries.
Beheaded. Done. Someone just got locked up in the UK for I love bacon. Or Ireland. Whichever. Can you find that? Got locked up for saying I love bacon.
What?
In relation to it was like an Islamic protest.
Okay.
And he said, I love bacon. And since they deemed that to be Islamic phobic, they locked this man up. People are consistently getting arrested right now in Ireland, in the UK, for memes, tweets, statements. They don't have freedom of speech like we do.
I think people don't really appreciate the rights that we have here in this country.
Not at all.
They really, really don't. You go outside this country, bro, you will see, hey, you can't do nearly as much. All that talking, you got America, all that talking, shut up. Shut up.
They've had articles on videos talking about it.
Talking about the bacon. I love bacon. Did you go to Twitter?
Twitter's just showing up a grok conversation.
I be watching videos of people going to different countries, Americans going to different countries, acting like Karens over there. And I'm like, bro, what the hell are you doing, bro? You're in a different country. Yeah. You're not in America. You don't have the same rights. You can't be pulling that, I'm American. You can't do nothing to me. End up in jail.
Yeah. When I went to Thailand, they told me one major rule. They said, while you're here, you cannot talk about the emperor. Do not do it.
Say less.
Yeah, goddamn right. Yeah. I was like, okay, heard. But that is what a Thai person told me as a tourist. And so the fact that you can go on social media, celebrate Charlie Kirk getting shot, celebrate Donald Trump getting shot, celebrate, whatever you want to celebrate. The fact that you can do that here already separates us from the entire world.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it says, for those who can't see it, it says, says on July 19th, a 23-year-old man was arrested in the UK for shouting "We love bacon" during a protest at the site of a proposed mosque. So people are getting arrested for all of these kinds of things in a country that some people here look to as this bright light, as this sanctuary country. Like, a lot of people look at Europe as this wonderful, like this perfect place, or even Canada sometimes, this perfect place. Nothing bad happens. They have the best policies, free healthcare, free university. It's like, sure, they do some things great.
That's what the movies make you think, brother.
Yeah, they do some things great, obviously, right? But that's not worth it. To be arrested for your thoughts, your beliefs, your voice. Definitely. Like, that's not worth it. Mm-mm. Fuck that. I'll pay for healthcare every time.
He said, I'll pay for healthcare.
He's like that's not.
He said, I want to say what the fuck I want to say, bro.
That's not worth it, because then you start to just self-censor. And the second we start to self-censor, we are immediately controlled. We're seeing it now.
Definitely. That's why they're trying to take away our guns. Take away the guns, and you can start taking away the rights of the people, bro.
They've already taken away so many rights. We lost so many rights during COVID that you won't get back. Once you lose something, getting it back is nearly impossible.
But COVID was crazy, bro. Really being inside and being trapped in there. You couldn't come out there. Y'all couldn't come within, what was it, 6 meters or something like that? 6 feet within each other?
Yeah.
6 feet.
Which they came out and said they completely made up.
Bullshit mafia, y'all. Yeah. Bullshit mafia.
Dude. Anthony Fauci. Yeah, like, we are living through crazy times. But then on the flip side, dude, it's a fucking wonderful time to be alive. We have incredible technology, incredible convenience. I can order something right now off of my phone. And since we live here in Austin with an Amazon hub right here, can get it by the end of the day. Almost anything. We live in such a fucking amazing time. And we spend it at each other's throats for no goddamn reason.
People don't appreciate the things they have, bro. You become so, used to it, bro. You think it's just part of life. This is supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to have Amazon. That package supposed to come to my door. Mm-hmm. I ain't gotta go downtown to the post office and go pick it up. You feel me?
Yep.
Convenience, bro. Or we go down to the supermarket. I'm supposed to go down there and get my meat. My meat supposed to be here. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I ain't gotta go out there and hunt that cow. What I look like, a hunter? Nah, bro. People got too lax. This life made us too soft, brother.
Yeah.
Ungrateful. This made us all too soft and ungrateful.
Ungrateful. Too soft. And what's the word I'm thinking of that you were just like that you're describing? What's the word for that? Not self-centered.
Self-preservation.
No.
Selfish.
No, it's not self. It's entitlement.
Oh, entitlement.
There we go. Yeah, no, entitlement. We're ungrateful. We're entitled as fuck. And we've gotten soft. And those three things we are seeing have effects on people's mental health to a level that I don't think anybody could have predicted. The fact that most crime in most areas is down, with the exception of mass shooting, just tells me how bad we're breaking people mentally. It's no longer like, fuck Rodney, I'm going to go rob him. Nah, it's fuck Rodney. I'm going to go shoot Rodney in a church and all his buddies at the same time.
I wouldn't recommend that, y'all. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to murder your ass. If you come to me and my friends, I'm going to come murder you.
So we're seeing people break mentally on an entirely different level. And it's sad. And also weirdly kind of fascinating because I'm so shocked that this works. Right? Like, I'm so shocked that we divide ourselves into these groups. Or the majority of us divide ourselves into these groups, and we become so tribal that we can't even realize it's all just one big party playing one big game.
Because they're trying to make us separate, brother. They're trying to always divide us and be like, why we should be separate. Because you understand, once we come together, that's power, bro.
Oh, they're fucked.
That's power.
Yeah.
When people unite, they can stand behind something.
Yeah.
But when you keep them separate, you can control them a lot easier.
Yeah. But there's literally people on the left that after Trump got elected was like 50% of the country is an idiot.
But that shit pissed me off when I saw that shit.
That's so crazy, dude.
I saw that.
It's so crazy. So you just right off the bat, you're just going to write off 150 million people, almost all of them that you've never met. You're just going to assume that not one of them is a sensible human being. That is a crazy thought process. A wild thought process.
Man, everybody don't need a microphone, brother. What they say, everybody don't need podcast equipment. Everybody don't need a phone, brother. And they don't need access to Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media you're using, because they be saying some dumb shit, bro.
But now we're entitled, and now everybody thinks that their opinion matters. It's not that you can't have your opinion, but it also doesn't mean that your opinion matters either.
That's true. That's true.
You can have it. That's your right. You can have your opinion. But it doesn't mean that your opinion actually matters. Right? And all this self-censored or censorship and everything, the only way to combat bad speech is to conduct good speech as an alternative. To be able to have conversations about things. If I have a fucked up thought process on something, the only way to have a positive change is to have a conversation with me and change and offer viewpoints that then change the perspective of that person.
People can't have conversations these days, brother.
Because a lot of people, again, just shut you down completely.
They do.
They use pejoratives, right? They call you racist. They call you a bigot. They call you Islamophobic. They call you homophobic, transphobic.
Labels.
They just throw all these labels at you. And instead of having a conversation about it, they just throw these labels at you and then they immediately try to either silence you, shut you up, or now kill you.
That's what you're trying to do, bro. Put you into the group. Or you're one of those people type like that. So
exactly.
all y'all think the same.
Yeah.
Instead of just like actually getting to know the person, having a conversation, open conversation, like where can we agree on and where do we differ? And it's just like, it's fine to have different opinions. I don't know why this world is so sensitive when it comes to having a different opinion. Everybody is not going to agree with you.
Well, it's hypocrisy. Because you're assuming that the entire other group thinks the same when you're thinking the same of your group. If you are a hardcore Democrat, I already can tell you exactly what you're going to say to me with certain things, right? I already know how you feel about Ukraine and Russia. I already know how you feel about Israel and Palestine. I already know how you feel about gay rights. I already know how you feel about men competing in women's sports. I already know how you feel about all of these things. But again, even that's hypocrisy, right? Because then now that's lumping every single person into this think tank. But that's what we're seeing is like these people are getting shoved in, they're getting into these think tanks, and if you start thinking outside of the think tank, then they just kick you out.
That crabs in a barrel, bro. As soon as you start you get a little thought. Nah, come back.
Come back.
Come your ass down here, bro.
Yeah, you can't have no free thinking.
We all got to think the same.
Yeah.
No difference.
And that is extremely dangerous. That's how we become so controlled.
That's why I feel like the internet can be very dangerous, because people could find these echo chambers and just keep going down that same hole and hole and hole. And it's just like, now you just, like I said, like we talked about earlier, reflecting down on your whole reality.
Why do you think echo chambers exist, though?
I would think to control people.
So,
or people are just closed-minded enough to not want to step out their comfort zone to learn what others believe in.
I think there's definitely merit to that, but I think it's even simpler than that. During this whole like cancel culture, you either self-censored or you were censored. There was really no in between, right? And so the people who were censored, they had to find some other places to go to then voice their opinion. So then they started creating like, QAnon, Rumble, Truth Social, these, right-wing social media platforms where all they did was they just picked up their opinion from here and they just took it over there and they're sharing the same opinion still. All you did was just censor them from these big platforms. And then they just created other platforms which then turned into these echo chambers, which now allow these thoughts to fester and plague more people. Or more people over here are like, hold up, wait, what he said wasn't that crazy. And then they start coming over here where there are crazy people. There are obviously far right crazy people, just like there's far left crazy people on Blue Sky. It's the same thing with these wackos on, these far right guys on these social media things as well. Whereas if you just allowed everybody to coexist on the main platforms that we all use, and if someone has bad speech, you correct it with better speech. You don't just make them disappear, because the speech just goes with them, and then people go with them, and then people start to be like, and then it just keeps going.
No, we have to censor you. We have to censor you, Jordan.
Right?
You can't say what you want to say.
It just keeps going.
Let it go away. You feel me?
But that's not how we do it here. Like, that's not how we live. Like, we don't live like that. Freedom of speech. Like, we have freedom of speech. And then people are always like, well, but there's not freedom of consequences.
Come on, bro.
I guess. But who's deciding those consequences? Who's deciding what is right and what's wrong? Again, this goes back to this, like, people believe that they're on the only right team and that you should only vote blue or you should only vote red no matter what.
Look, the right could be wrong on certain things and the left can be wrong on certain things. It's up to you to navigate that color, brother, and understand what do you want for you and your community around you, or you and your family around you. What do you believe in? It's like sometimes maybe 20 years down the line, maybe the blue might be the right side for you. Maybe they might stand more for the country. Maybe another 50 years down the line, the right might be the right side to go with. But it's just like you have to be able to educate yourself. A lot of people just, like I said, depend upon news for all their information. That's why they're misinformed. Why don't you put in the leg work? Why aren't you putting in the hard work yourself to go out there and search the internet for real information on what's happening in this world, instead of depending on what people have to tell you? Because then they tell you how to feel. They tell you what you should believe in and how you should vote in the future. Control, man.
Absolutely. It's people get married to their ideas.
That's
and
true.
then they don't allow any nuance or anything to help or to change their opinion, or they don't even bother hearing the other side. Or again, it just goes back to having a conversation, right? Like immediately when someone's like, oh, I don't use Twitter. I'm like, oh, okay, so you just never see the truth then.
I love Twitter, bro. Twitter, my favorite app.
It's the best place to get your news, because there is far left people, far right people, centric people, coexisting, and everyone is then able to then share their point of view. Now, there's been things with like Israel and stuff where you get a little out of line, everyone's kicking you off, but ultimately, for the most part, it is the freest platform there is. And shout out to Elon Musk for buying that. He changed everything. He changed everything by allowing people to have true freedom of speech on that platform. Because again, even if someone is saying outrageous shit, then you correct it with better shit. It's really that simple.
How do you, like, How do you correct that? What you mean by like better speech?
Well, think about it, right? So if you come to me and you're like, okay, well, let's take the example of we should ban all guns. Okay, you have the right to say that.
Okay.
Right? But then I have the right to be like, well, this is why we shouldn't ban all guns. Because of this, this, and this. Here's this example of this. Here's why it doesn't work in other countries. Here's why the states with the hardest gun laws are usually the states with the highest homicide rates or gun violence rates, right? Chicago, New York, California. These are all states that it's really difficult to get a firearm in, but they constantly have the highest homicide numbers. Why is that? Well, a law-abiding citizen with a gun, like taking away a gun from a law-abiding citizen is not going to take a gun away from an evil person.
Yeah, I don't know why
It's
people
never
think
worked.
that. I don't know why they think if we ban guns here, make it harder. The criminals, it's going to make it harder for the criminals to get guns. No, they're just going to find their illegal ways to get it.
It's always going to happen. We've done it ever. Drugs have been illegal since the 20s, 30s.
Look when alcohol was banned.
Yeah, people just found a different way to do it. That is always that's just what happens, right? And so then that would be then an opportunity there of me providing better speech, and then you being able to ingest that speech and deciding whether or not that you want to change your opinion or not, right? Or if someone's on Twitter using a racial slur, someone then has the ability to go under there and be like, hey, that word, like you shouldn't use that word because of this, this, and this. And then again, that person has the ability to take that advice or not take that advice. But we should have the ability, or even on a larger scale, right? If that person uses a racial slur, we have the ability to constantly repost that, bashing this person.
It might have been like a time in their life way when they're a lot more ignorant, and you bringing up old shit. Is that what you're saying?
No, so I'm saying like if someone was on Twitter right now and they used the N-word, we would have the ability, like you shouldn't delete that post because it has the N-word in it.
That's true. That's true.
We should comment on there and tell this dude that he's a fucking idiot for using that word.
Okay.
But that post should not be taken down. He does have the right to use that word. It's not that he should use that word, but he does have the right to say that is freedom of speech. And we have the right, as an entire community, to jump on that man and be like, hey, this ain't cool. Like, don't say that. And then usually we've seen public shame typically works to that regard, right? In that regard, like that's a good thing. We have the ability to then like change, not necessarily change that person, but you have the ability to just put that person on blast, essentially, right? But deleting it from Twitter, then he just takes that tweet with the N-word and he just goes over to a different platform and he just constantly uses that. Now he's surrounded by 10 dudes only. There's only 10 of them. They're in this echo chamber and they all just consistently use the N-word together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the masses of us are on these three platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So if it happens on one of these things, the masses don't accept that as normal behavior. We're like, hey, like that's not cool.
Yeah, cut that out. Don't do that.
Right? And so the masses that make up the majority of us, most of us who live comfortably in this cinder that we're talking about, would then comment on that and be like, hey, nah, that's not cool. But you shouldn't take that down. Because again, if you take that down, it creates what you're talking about with these echo chambers. Then there's just 10 people in there all using that word, but no one's telling you not to use that word. So then they just constantly use it, and it's normal because it's the only people that they communicate with.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
That makes sense.
And so that's why people should be able to express themselves, because then people have the right to critique that expression.
That's a great way of thinking about that, bro. I never thought about it in the way of people being able to critique others. I was just always thinking about it just in the freedom to say what the fuck you want to say. But I mean, that's a great mindset. But do you think we need to bring back public shaming just for a lot of things?
I think there's
it works for that.
There's definitely some benefit, right? This is like a tricky subject because it's always like, how much bullying is good bullying? Well, some of it is pretty fucking effective, unfortunately.
Because look at the let's look at the Roger Jackson situation,
dude. Fuck, man. Awful.
Tore that boy up.
It's not good.
What you think will happen to him? I think he should. I don't know, bro. I think if we send him to jail, I think he's gonna make it far worse. I think he needs some help. Because you can obviously see, like, he like mentally he's weak. Like physically he's strong, but mentally he's weak. I think he needs some help. But I don't know if jail would be the right place for him.
Well, like, what kind of help? What's a good help? Like what? So this is where things get tricky, right? So like what would be an example of?
I don't know, maybe some psychological help. I think he needs to work on his mental image of himself. I think he lacks confidence in himself. I think him being on Kick was terrible, because if you already have low self-esteem, why are you on this platform where you're constantly hearing people's opinion and you know you can't handle something like that? It's what I mean is, like, people's brains aren't developed enough for the amount of information that they're trying to receive.
He's also in search of positive reinforcement. Right, that's why you would do that. It's why people post it's why people post on social media, because they want the likes. That's why they're constantly checking, like, how many people liked it. Right, and so they want that. They crave that. We crave that. Humans crave that.
That's true. That's true.
Right, you want your post to do well. Right, it's just natural. Ego. Right, like, experiencing ego death is probably one of the greatest. It's probably something that most people should go through.
Oh, mushrooms, yeah.
Yeah, most people should do a large dose of mushrooms and experience that ego death.
I don't think a lot of people are ready to handle that, man. Because I remember my boy Newt. I think he had some mushrooms. That man mind could not handle what he was seeing on it.
In what regard?
He said he saw a bunch of crazy shit.
Like how? Like what?
Just like, I guess, images and stuff, and things were distorted. And I always take mushrooms trips as I've never personally saw any hallucinations with mushrooms. Anything with mushrooms has always been like in my head. It's always been like, you know, you might see little wiggly lines and shit like that, but it's always been just fighting mental battles within oneself.
100%.
It's why I tell people, if you want to hop on mushrooms, you have to accept everything you are and who you are. Because if you deny that, you're going to see hell.
Yeah, Brandon talked about this on the episode. He said he doesn't believe in bad trips for that exact reason. Like, you have to deal with it. You have to. You have to deal with your shit. Like, you have to deal with your shit, dude. Otherwise, it's gonna come up at some point. You're gonna snap. And I think there's a mixture of that, of like what we're seeing just in general with people's, you know, social media, with the mental health, narcissism thing, like conundrum, the struggle between the two, right? Like, we want to be compassionate to people who have mental health issues, etc. But then we allow all these fakers, quote unquote, like, people who are clearly just not. They're not. Like, perfect example was Patrick Bet-David was sitting down. Did you see any clips of this? He sat down with like 20 socialists or people who believe in socialism.
Yeah. And
he sat down and he had conversations with them. And there was one girl where he said that he would pay for her therapy. I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but she was saying that she struggles with X, Y, and Z. And he was like, okay, I will pay for your therapy. I'll send you to the best therapist under one condition. I need you to first see a psychiatrist. And she was like, oh, hell, no. I'm not going to no psychiatrist, da. And so a lot of people are just these self-proclaimed victims. And so if we want to be compassionate to somebody who truly is struggling with an extreme amount of depression, or truly struggling with bipolar disorder, or truly struggling with whatever it is, we have to also call those people out, because those people are diluting and taking away from the people who are actually struggling. who are truly diagnosed and need help, like true help, right? But then the rest of the people over here who claim to be these people are then making it to where you care less about these people. And it's ironic because we're being told we should care about these people. And so these people want to be those people so that they get the attention of those people. Yet. And so since we can't call out these people, the people who are really struggling, the people who have maybe been to war and seen some real fucked up shit, who have real PTSD, who are really struggling mentally, it's hard to help those people because it's just covered with all these bullshit people who just don't want to work hard at anything. They don't want to work out. They don't want to take care of themselves in the slightest. They want to go party all the time. They don't do anything to take care of their own self.
A lot of this country lacks discipline. Bring shame to us.
How does discipline help you?
It keeps you focused, brother. That's what I think. Discipline keeps me focused. Having a set goal in mind allows me to understand, like, hey, I can't get complacent. I have something I always need to achieve to or get to. It's when you stop making goals for yourself, that's when you get complacent, stuck in the same place. And maybe financially, if you're in a good spot, maybe if you're making $1 million, you feel me, like that, I could be a little stagnant, you feel me? I could be a little stagnant, but if we talking about, I think you should always be growing your mind. You should always be looking to do something better every year, looking to strive towards just a bigger goal. Because I know, like I said, Belize, I've been working towards Belize for the last few months, and that was like the big goal in mind for me. Now it's just like, now we got to prove. It's just building, getting the money now to get over there now, so I can go over there and live a different life, live a better life, and live cheaper. You feel me? Yeah. It's just, you always got to have something in mind. You always got to look forward to something. I think a lot of people just get stuck in their 9 to 5, and they don't have nothing to look forward to. Oh, I'm just gonna get home and play the game with my boys every day. Are you getting better every year? Are you able to get better in your dream job or career? No.
Are you being fulfilled?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Are you being fulfilled? Do you have purpose?
A lot of people don't have purpose, bro. They don't know what they want to do with their lives. I know I was able to find like what I was passionate about very young. Like I said, photography, video editing, videography at a young age. It just took me so long to realize that was my passion. It was right in front of me, dangling like a carrot. But I tried to chase everything, like chasing this career that has money, or chasing this because I think this job is easy, when I should have just been chasing what I was passionate about. And then when I started chasing that, I became more fulfilled with life. Sure, it may pay me less money, but I know in the long haul, in the long run, it's going to bring me happiness. And in life, that's what matters more to me.
Absolutely. I agree. Like that's, yeah, I think we get caught up with, again, social media. We see a lot of people who are quote unquote successful. They're making a lot of money, and we're like, man, we're never going to be that. So we don't pursue maybe that same thing, like podcasting, right? It's like, oh, I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan. And so it's like, oh, I'm never going to be that, so I shouldn't do it. Well, no, that's silly, because if I could just replace my current salary, I live okay, I'm happy, I have everything that I need. If I can replace my current salary
beautiful house.
With this,
very beautiful house.
Thank you. With this, that's all I need. I don't need to make $250 million. Like, that's not the point. If something like that was to happen, fucking cool. But we get so caught up in comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy.
That's a bar. I
definitely have stole that from Joe Rogan.
So you think people live way above their means, way beyond their means?
Well, that, absolutely. But I think people compare themselves to people who are uberly successful in the dream job that they want, right? So for you, for instance, if you were to compare yourself to like a Mr. Beast or like an MKHD, the tech reviewer, somebody like that who does a really good job of video editing and or like a really famous photographer, or like, you know, some people that you see on Instagram with like 1 million followers that do like nature photos, things like that, right? If you were to compare yourself to them, it would seem unattainable, right? Because you're like, oh, I only have 1,000 followers. How the fuck am I ever going to get to 1 million? You might not. You probably won't. But that shouldn't stop you from pursuing that. Because again, all you have to do is just replace what you're making now, or even a little slightly less, with what it is that you want to do. You're going to be happier. You're going to be now doing that thing that you want to do. You're going to be a better person for your family. You're going to be a better person to yourself. You're going to be, again, happier. And your quality of life is the exact same. But we get stuck in these loops where we're comparing ourselves to the Joe Rogans, to the these Uber, you know, Mr. Beasts, to Cutie Pie, these people on, you know, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is that you're comparing yourself to. Whether if you're a fucking poker player and you're comparing yourself to Lex, I don't remember his name, but Lex something, right? If you're comparing yourself to those people at the highest end, then it's going to make that goal seem very unattainable and very unachievable. And it's very discouraging. And it's going to stop you from wanting to do that thing. But if you just accept your own journey to be your own journey, and you stop comparing yourself to this person, that person, that person, and you just go on that journey, typically it works out if you work hard at it.
But that's what social media does, brother. It puts stuff in your face that's unattainable, brother.
Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy. If you continuously compare yourself to all those people, then you're going to be miserable, because the chances of you being that person, well, for one, you're not that person, you're yourself. But the chances of you reaching the status of that person is very slim. There's only one Joe Rogan. There's only one Lex Friedman. There's only one Mr. Beast. But it doesn't mean that you can't be impactful. It doesn't mean that you can't achieve your goals, even if you don't reach that level. If one day I'm making $100,000 podcasting with, you know, whatever else going on in my life, and that's just what I do, bruh.
We lit.
What?
Shit. That's a dream, bro.
Like, why would? Yeah, it's not $250 million. No, I don't got like 300 cars, or you know, whatever it is, right? I don't got a warehouse full of custom cars like Joe Rogan. I don't have I don't own a comedy club, whatever. But I'm fucking free. I can truly enjoy life to the fullest extent.
I think the biggest prison in life is the workforce. It's the workforce.
I was gonna say it's your mind.
I give you that. I think it's the workforce, bro. I think people go to jobs too much that they do not like. They spend a majority of their life hating what they do.
Yeah. You're right. And that's where the optimistic version of automation comes in. Have you heard people who are optimistic about automation?
No.
So this is an interesting perspective, and something that I've been thinking about more and more as I kind of go down this journey of creating, right? Naval was the first person that I'm aware of to put it in this perspective. Naval, if you're not familiar, for those who are listening, or even yourself, like if you're not familiar, Naval is a very like wise, influential figure. He's a tech guy, entrepreneur, but when you listen to him, he shares our mindset in the sense of like he's just looking for happiness. He just happened to become really rich, right? But his goal is to be happy. And he talks about this a lot. And he has these very like insightful thoughts on life. And one of the things he's talked about before is that the potential of automation to allow everyone to do what they want to do. Because now no one needs to work at the McDonald's. No one needs to drive that truck. Most people don't grow up aspiring to be those things. They just end up being those things out of the means of necessity. They have to put food on the table. So in theory, what if there's a world where those jobs are no longer available and it forces you to go follow your dreams and to become a creator, because there's an infinite amount of possibilities with that. We see this. Like, people say, like, oh, this market's too saturated. Oh, this is too saturated. Oh, this is too saturated. Well, cream always rises to the top,
it's
right?
Like, well, there's so many niches, though, in this content game. So it's like when people say something's saturated, I'm like, what are you trying to make content around?
And we're only consuming more and more content every single day. Goes back to the merging it with technology. We're only constantly consuming more and more and more and more and craving it more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
So then automation, the optimistic side of it is that now this allows everyone to just follow their dreams and pursue something, become small business owners, where I have a t-shirt company, you have a skateboard company. I buy your skateboard, you buy my t-shirts, and we just go around and we're constantly just buying from each other and supporting each other. And this would allow us to all continue to create something, right? And so, and I might have butchered that completely, but he talks about it in his episode on Joe Rogan. He also talks about it on his episode with Chris Williamson. I also heard, not Mark Adreshian, who's the CEO of the company Riplet, I believe. Replit. AI company. Who? Let me see. Can I see him? Is this him? I think this is him. Name doesn't sound right, though. Huh? Technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Well, nonetheless, he owns a company called Replit that allows you to essentially create apps with AI in his app.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this is him. Yes, yeah. What's his name? Amjad Masad. Yes. So he was the second person that shared this point of view. He was also on Joe Rogan, and he talked about it on there. And it's when it got me to feel better about the future, because automation is inevitable. Constantly, every day at my job, I'm always hearing like, well, soon we're going to be able to automate this. We're going to be able to automate this. We're going to be able to automate this. And they always say it in like a positive way. But really, it just means eventually you're just not going to need me.
Yeah.
And
go put your ass at the job.
Eventually, right? It's inevitable. Automation will come through, and it is going to take over a lot of jobs. And and the pessimistic side of it is everyone's going to be out of work. No one's going to be able to make any money. And that's definitely a possibility. But the optimistic side of it that I've heard now from him, Amjad, and Naval is that this will force you to create and do something that you enjoy. Because that's going to be the only option.
It's if you got the drive to do that. And you're not lazy.
Unfortunately, some people are going to weed themselves out. You know, that's just like anything, right?
The strongest gonna rise to the top, the weak is gonna float to the bottom.
There's some absurd amount of podcasts, but if you make it past your third episode, you're already in like the top 50% or something like that. And so that's to your point. It's like we can't help everybody. That goes back to the sympathy versus empathy. We can't help everybody because they don't want to help themselves. And if you don't want to help yourselves, we can't stay around and help you. You have to want to help yourself. You have to be able to accept help. You have to be able to make the change. And so, obviously, when automation fully comes around, there are going to be people who really suffer from it. But there's people who suffer now from whatever else. I think that's also the unrealistic point of view of people's politics, is that they believe that there's going to be this utopia. That doesn't exist. Politics is benefit one party or benefit a group of people to fuck over another group of people. It's inevitable. Right? The open border situation. It was very good for refugees and immigrants.
It's very bad for Americans.
It was very bad for Americans. That's just how that works. Nothing is going to be just good all around. That's naive. I think we see a lot of that. People being naive, people lacking nuance, people talking in absolutes or making blanket statements. Right? But I want to go back to my story.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
going all the way back, you were talking about the monster inside and that it's scary to let that monster out.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been I've always tried to do my best to be the best human I could be and just try to be kind as possible. So it's just like letting that out, brother. It's just scary to me. Because it's just like, can I recognize myself after this is done? Can I forgive myself after this is done? It was crazy. Because I think the round with Sorrel, right before I did the hard rounds with Sorrel and Nishad, I told myself, I said, God, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. Because it's just, I just really felt bad for like, I'm gonna have to hurt these people.
When you were getting them ready.
Yeah, and I did not take it easy on them.
I remember.
I think one of the dudes pulled me to the side. He was like, "Bro, you don't think you went a little too hard on her, bro?" I'm like, "No, because her opponent might just go just as equally as hard." So I would feel like I failed if I didn't go like hard like that. Because I learned that lesson from watching Dayton. So I'm like, I can't let that happen again. So it's like, you might hate me in the moment, but you're gonna love me after all this is done.
That's honestly kind of sums up everything we've really been talking about. You're going to hate me in the moment, but you're going to love me when it's done. There's going to be times when my baby over there is going to hate me in the moment. Because there's going to be something she can't have, or she's going to be told no, or there's going to be some kind of discipline instilled. And in the moment, she is going to be unhappy. But again, as long as you communicate and you have these conversations with people and you bring this understanding to them, is that, to your point, it's like, if I don't, like how you feeling guilty with Dayton, I felt the same way. And it's like, if I don't beat your ass and you go out there and get your ass whooped by someone who doesn't give a fuck about you and they really hurt you, that I did you a disservice because I didn't put it on you hard enough to prepare you for that, because I know that I'm not going to hurt you purposefully.
Man, I remember Nishan, brother. I beat the brakes off his ass one time, bro. Bro, we was in some boxing gloves, bro. And I think Coach came up to me. He told me, man, he said, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna need you to whoop his ass like y'all brothers or something like that, and y'all can kiss it out at the end." Boy, I had his nose leaking. You know, I got white gloves, so my white gloves, them things was basically red at the end of that round. I felt so bad. I think he was right there off the side, and I went to the side and I told you, I was like, I feel so bad right now, bro. He was like, "You can't, Rodney. You can't feel bad.
You can't. And so that leads me to this, like, right? Like the monster coming out. Like you just said, if someone broke into your house, that monster's coming out.
Most definitely.
Right? Is anybody going to judge you for that? Well, okay.
Canada.
Okay, hold on. Are sensible people going to judge you for that?
No.
Right? If you lawfully protect yourself. We're not talking about you shooting the dude in the back. We're talking about someone breaks in, they have a weapon, they are threatening your life, and you put them down. A sensible person isn't going to look at you differently. Right? I've always said this. If you came up to me and said, "Jordan, I just raped somebody," I would immediately beat your ass.
Like
right?
That?
There's no thought process.
Like that?
Yeah. If you said rape, you didn't just say, like, I just had sex with somebody, right? Clearly that implies there is a non-negotiable with that, right? Rape is a non-negotiable. But if you came up to me and said, "Jordan, I just killed somebody," I'd be like, "Okay, what happened?" And then you're going to tell me what happened. And then I'm either going to beat your ass or I'm going to be like, "Well, fuck, what we got to do now?" Because there is a sensible story. There is a plausible story that you're going to tell me that I'm going to be like, "Well, fuck, all right. I hear you. I'd have done the same thing." Right? And that we have to be able to we have to be able to separate these things and be sensible and have common sense. Common sense tells you, if you break into my house and you are here to harm me,
You might get shot.
you might get shot. Common sense. That's common sense. There's no... Arya, you were killing it, dude. Come on.
She said, I got it.
Come on. Go. Oh, you were trapped. Oh, my God, dude. Come this way. Come on. Sorry, y'all. Common sense, right? We have to get back to having fucking common sense. And so, I'm getting ready for my tournament. And this was a different time at John's, right? This is when Brandon was there.
Great times.
Fight team was different.
Golden era, man.
We were beating the shit out of each other.
Shit.
Right? Not like 1990s, early 2000s MMA gyms where they were just brawling. Not like that. We weren't brawling every day, but there was hard days. There was days that were hard because, again, there has to be, right? Especially when you're coming up, right? You hear like Max Holloway talk about now that he doesn't spar, things like that. That makes sense. Max has been in, 40, 50, 60 fights. He gets it now. When he steps in there, he understands the mission. But for us, who are just coming into the game and just coming up, we don't necessarily understand this mission. We don't understand that it is acceptable to be that monster in that cage. We see it, but we in ourselves don't necessarily know because it is scary to be that person.
So, do you think sparring is more for repping your techniques in practice, or do you think it's more for just letting that beast out and be able to regulate that?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think it's a little bit of being able to regulate that beast. I think it's a little bit of being able to test certain things, try certain things out. That's why I don't think every session needs to be hard, but there has to be hard A-game sessions. This is something that Ethan, my coach, has told me about jiu-jitsu. It's great that I have this playful mindset. It has allowed my jiu-jitsu to get a lot better, a lot faster, because I'm not concerned about winning the round in the gym. However, I've now slipped down a path that I'm trying to climb out of where I only play and I don't care about winning any round in the gym. And then that has leaked into competition where I'm a little too playful. I'm a little too nonchalant. I'm a little too non-aggressive. I'm a little too not seizing certain opportunities that you have to be a little mean for. All right? And so there has to be a time where you're doing a game. I'm trying to win the round, even in the gym. Like from time to time, there has to be some of that, so that way you can learn how to compete. Especially for like MMA and for kickboxing. It's not jiu-jitsu where I can compete every weekend and there's really low repercussions unless something gets broken, right? I just tap. You can't do that in MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, things like that, right? So it's even more important in those sports to have these hard sessions because you don't just get to just go compete again next week. Most competitions, typically, you're going maybe 4 times a year, maybe, at least at a higher level. Low amateurs, you might be able to fight maybe 4 to 6 times, depending on how much damage you took, if you're running through people, etc., whatever.
Yeah.
But ultimately, 4 times is really the max. 4 opportunities to prove that you are that monster. And so you have to learn how to be that person and be comfortable with that, right? And so with me in particular, I got super stoned. Dude, I bought some like special leaf wraps from the store. Rolled a fat joint. I don't know what I was thinking, dude. A fat one.
A fatty. Ooh.
And it was like some leaf wrap. I don't know. But it made me hallucinate. And like, I get super stoned. And I'm shadowboxing in the kitchen. And suddenly I realize, like, I'm in a fight in my kitchen. I'm fighting. Like, I'm having a fight while I'm shadowboxing, right? Like, I'm seeing a person and I'm fighting.
And you fighting this fly that's been bugging this whole podcast, bro.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. You'll get me derailed. That fly's been driving me up the fucking wall. So I'm shadowboxing in my kitchen. And like feeling like it's a fight, right? And I don't know why, but I ended up taking a shower. I don't know if maybe I just got done. I don't know what the fuck. I ended up taking a shower. I get in the shower and I feel this burning sensation in my chest. Like a rage, like feeling rage boil up. And I just like screamed in my bathroom. Like, yeah, I'm showering. I just let out this scream, right? And it was exactly what you're talking about. It was that monster. I could feel it coming out because I was getting ready for this Muay Thai event. And this monster was coming out. And I was like, oh, fuck no. No. Get that back in there and cage that motherfucker back up. Because it's scary. Because we know that we are capable of extreme violence. We just don't want to be that way. But we know that we are. We've had this thought probably. I'm sure even before you started doing martial arts, you probably knew that you were capable of it. You maybe not good at it, but you were capable of it. You probably had a feeling in your head that you were capable of it. At least that's how I was. I felt like if I was to fight someone to the death, I was going to outdog most people. That's just always how I felt in my head, right? I didn't know until I started training. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that is true. But I didn't know, but I had always felt that way, right? So I let out this scream and I could feel this rage burning through me. And I'm like, oh, no, fucking trying to put it back. I'm like, what the hell is happening, right? So I'm flipping out because I'm scared of this other person, this monster, right? I'm like, oh my God, is this going to change? Like in my moment, in my head right then, I'm literally thinking like, if I let this person out in the ring, I'm going to come out the ring a completely different person for forever. Like it's going to change me completely. In a negative way, right? Like I was going to just become an asshole all the time. Like I was just going to be a constant dick. Like I was going to be a constant monster.
You know, sometimes, bro, I think about, bro, if I let it out, I'm going to like that side of it. I'm going to enjoy it. People are always afraid of it, but I know half of it is fear for me, bro. Half of it's fear, but half of it is I like it. I like to hurt people, and it's just like I'm afraid if I give into that desire, what would come? Like it's just it's just the fear of I enjoy it. I enjoy the blood. I enjoy the violence. I enjoy hitting people. Yeah. I enjoy it all, and it's just like it creeps me out about I wouldn't say creep. Creeping is the wrong word. Psychs me out. Well, again,
because you pride yourself on being a kind, good person, right? And that goes against what we define as a kind and good person, right? Typically. But again, what separates you from an evil person is the fact that you don't use that wrongly. But what makes you a good man to have on this earth, to have as a friend, is knowing that you are capable of that. And if push came to shove, if we actually had to, we did not have a different alternative, no other choice, that I know that what was going to happen.
Yeah, we getting greasy. We getting real greasy.
Right? Like what's going to happen, you know?
Who that had to do? That shit, pull out my pistol too.
And so the only way to stop bad men is to have good men. And good men and bad men are both equally capable of extreme violence. The only thing that separates us is the fact that we can control that and we don't use it. But you can let it out in the cage because that is an appropriate time to do so. And then you have to be confident in yourself that you're going to be able to round that back in the second you walk out of that cage. But you see it all the time, right? Like, even if I am in that zone, if I clip you in the balls, I'm like, shit, my bad, you good? Yeah. Right? And then we go right back to it and then beating your ass again.
Yeah.
But.
Not I. He was talking about me.
Yeah, okay. Oh. But you know what, but you see what I mean? And so yeah. I'm having this same identity crisis or this same kind of fear that you were having. And I'm getting out of the shower, and I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm flipping out. I'm like, there's no way I can do this tournament. It's going to make me a terrible person. I can't do this. And I was moments away from calling Brandon and being like, dude, I gotta pull out of this tournament. And I don't fully remember what I came, like, what stopped me from doing it, what, like, realization I came to. But now thinking back on it, it's really just, again, being comfortable with that it is okay if you do that in the ring, as long as you're following the rules, you're not doing anything overly malicious, but your intent is to win the fight. And you have to do what you got to do within the rule set to win the fight. And you have to be comfortable with that, and it is okay. And that nobody else is going to look at you differently because of what you did in that cage. What we're going to look at you differently, what people are going to judge you for, is what you do outside of that cage.
Okay. That's some good insight, brother. I really appreciate that, man. It really changes how I view things, and definitely I'm gonna sit on and meditate about it. And, you know, I don't know, Lord knows what kind of answer I might come out with.
Yeah, let me know.
Like, man, fuck that shit, but we gotta be up everybody. Man, because
just fucking turn into a complete menace, bro. You just start robbing and murdering.
I ever told you the story of how I got into martial arts, brother?
No.
So man, I was out doing photography. It was late night in downtown Austin, brother. I forgot, it was on Congress Street, and I think I was by like the movie theater or something like that. I was taking pictures. Then next thing you know, I hear this homeless guy say, "Don't take no pictures of me," and it pushed me into ongoing traffic. He pushed me into ongoing traffic, bro. I dodged the cars like I was playing Froggy or something. I get up to him. We square up, bro. And then in the moment, I felt so much rage. And I was like, I calmed down. I was like, you know, I don't know how to fight. I don't know how to fight, bro. So I decided to walk away from the situation. The next week, bro, I was looking at programs I saw at John's at the MMA program. And then Brandon was teaching it. And then I was there. And the rest is history, bro. You realize you can't fight. Like, damn, I can't fight worth a damn. Boy, what I'm going to do if this crackhead beat my ass, boy?
That... At least you had that realization without physical repercussions.
Yeah.
There's so many people that don't have that realization. That when they do, usually when they have that realization, it's because there was physical repercussions. Right? Like, people are finding out that they can't fight in the fight.
Oh, I think the difference between me is I grew up with an older brother. Shout out to my older brother, Darian. He's just a year older than me. He used to beat the brakes off my ass. Like, when I tell people he's faster, stronger, and big motherfucking stud, he used to beat the brakes out of my ass. So it's just like, I take an ass whipping. Well, people are like, Rodney, you so tough now. Yeah, I've been getting my ass whipped all my life, bro. I remember one time, bro, me and my brother were in a polo boxing match. We didn't have boxing gloves, so we had polos. I was whooping his ass that time. Wah. He didn't like that. I hit his ass with a hook. Next thing you know, he bent over. He put a rock in his pillow. Mollywopped my ass. Boy, my nose was leaking. My lip was cut open. It was blood all over the covers everywhere. We looked. We was like, oh, shit, mom's going to kill us. We threw that shit in the washer. Luckily, I knew how to clean up blood. I got all that shit out. We cleaned up my lip. And then when mom got home, she never knew what happened. She's like, how y'all been? We been good. Y'all just been chilling all day? Yeah, just playing video games and stuff.
Bro, smacking with a rock is wild.
Yes.
That's wild.
That is crazy, bro. We got, because it was a library right up the street, and they had like these nice smooth rocks, and that's why he liked it. It was nice and smooth, and he used to sit on our like a little counter, like a little dresser between our beds, because we always shared a bed all the childhood. I didn't get like a bed to myself until I moved out to my pops' house.
Oh shit, okay.
So,
when was that?
When I was like 17. I didn't get a bedroom to myself until I was 17. So, you know, sharing a room with my brother. It was close by, and I love that. I love my brother and shit like that. But man, he hit the fuck out of me, boy.
With a rock. That's wild.
Yeah.
But, and so, yeah, I mean, like, you know, there was some toughness instilled there. Not saying that everybody should get hit by a rock. But, you know, we have to go back to finding balances to things.
Yeah.
These overcorrections are going to fuck us. We have to stop overcorrecting everything. there is some of these things that are important. There is importance in having toughness instilled. There is importance in having discipline instilled. There is importance to having hard skin where you're just like, dude, people can talk shit all they want. Whatever. Okay, cool. There's importance to all these things. And we're seeing these overcorrections where people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to parent like my grandparents parented my parent. And then how they parented me, da 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 da. And so there's these constant overcorrections that have led us to this time now where people are super hypersensitive. They're offended by everything. They are weak. They're soft. They're fragile, right? Like working out is a right-winged thing to do now. Like it's just so bizarre where we're at right now. It's just so crazy. Like working out is a Republican thing to do.
Man, I just want to be healthy, brother. Yeah, damn, I want to live a long, healthy life. At least
Isn't
like
that
120.
Shouldn't that all of our dreams? Like, shouldn't that be all of our dreams to be healthy, happy, meaningful members of society? We should want to better our communities. We should want to help our communities. And a lot of people say they want to do those things, but they're not. They're really making it worse by posting gotcha moments of whatever the other side, or they're posting, they're virtue signaling about whatever it is. You're not helping. You're making matters worse. Even if you're on the good side, you're making it worse.
I always say, brother, if I can't pick somebody up or educate somebody, I try not to put that content out there. I'm not trying to embarrass somebody.
No, I agree because those gotchas, it's an instant gratification that very quickly goes away, and then you just feel shitty. Like gotcha moments are so we don't get anything from that. We're not having any discourse about it. So when you're posting a gotcha moment or our shit over here doesn't stink bullshit, like when you're posting stuff like that where it's like, oh, look what the other side did. When you're posting things like that, there's nothing meaningful coming from it. Because the 50% of the people who already disagree with you, they're just going to continue to disagree no matter what. You're not changing anybody's minds. And then the 50% of people who agree with you, they're just going to like it and just keep it moving. And then it just never ends. Versus welcoming a conversation. I learned this the hard way when I posted that I voted for Trump on social media. And the only reason why I posted it was because I experienced election interference that was taking place that people said wasn't taking place.
What happened? What do you mean?
So I voted on the very last day.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to vote. I had never voted before. Because I don't believe in either fucking side. It's all one party. They're all just playing a game with us. And I hadn't decided that I was going to go vote until the very last night. And I texted Taylor. I was like, hey, I'm waking up early tomorrow morning. I'm going to go vote before I go to work. And so I had seen videos of people going to the polls and not being able to click Trump's name on the ballot. So I'd seen these videos, right? And this was before AI even got really, really good. So I was still on the fence. So I was like, bro, what? We live in America. People, you're telling me you can't click this person just because there is a group of people who don't like this dude? And I was like, I was on the fence. I was like, I don't know if that's real or not. And I started seeing more and more of it. And so I was like, oh shit, dude, this might really be a thing. And I went to go vote.
Yeah.
And I couldn't click Trump's name. I took a video of it. I couldn't click Trump's name until I clicked Kamala's name. and then switched it back. And so I experienced it firsthand.
Damn.
And so then I felt that it was necessary to just express that. And obviously, in order for me to express that, I had to say that I then voted for Trump. Which I had a bunch of people unfollow me. I had a bunch of people come into my DMs, da-da-da-da-da. And this is when I realized that these gotcha moments, these things like that, they don't work because all these people came into my DMs. It started off like, whoa, Jordan, I've known you for so long. Why'd you do that? Right? It started off from this like, almost like place of concern or almost like this place of curiosity.
Yeah.
But then when you hit them with the actual facts on why you did what you did, and you're breaking it down, you know, like Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and the one other guy who all pretty much said the First Amendment is an obstacle for disinformation, right? The Cheneys supporting Kamala, the open border that we experienced with so many people coming through.
I could not get behind that woman, brother.
Fuck no.
I could not. I'm
Hell
sorry,
no.
I could not get behind that woman.
Hell no.
Look, some people was making it seem like, y'all don't want to vote for her because she's a woman or something. It
It
had nothing to do with
that, dude.
I heard it.
Yeah,
but it's like, it had nothing to do with that.
bro.
You just seem incompetent, baby. You just seem very incompetent.
Yeah, they spent $1.5 billion on that campaign, and it was the worst campaign of all time.
Spending most of that money towards Meg Thee Stallion,
Oh,
Glorilla,
bro,
all that stuff. Man, what
paying
y'all doing with
celebrities
this
to
money?
show up, dude. It was stupid.
Trying to pay celebrities
stupid.
to buy votes.
We're gonna look back at that. And if you're a sensible person, you're gonna be like, that was fucking dumb. Nonetheless, so I would have conversations with these people, and I'm just giving them the facts. I wasn't bashing nobody. I was never online like talking shit or being hateful. I was just posting things that were happening, that were taking place, that didn't make any sense. That told me like, no, we have to vote the other way. Otherwise we are so fucked. Who knows where we would be? You can disagree with some of the things that are happening now. I certainly do. But dude, if it was the other way, if it had went the other way, it was scary.
I'm happy with the decision of the country. I think the country might be in a lot better spot than it was with her.
I think things are definitely. I think there are a lot of good things.
I think a lot more countries outside the U.S. respects us more.
That's a big thing. People overlook that, man. People overlook that. Again, it goes back to the society being weak, so they want the country to, quote unquote, be weak. But that's not how the shit fucking works. There are people who want to take away what we have, and they will do extreme things in order to achieve that, right? And so again, I was just having, I wasn't being hateful. I was just having legit conversation, or like I was providing legit facts. And the second I hit them with a bunch of facts that they didn't like, that they didn't want to hear, immediately they just quickly just switched to attacking me. And then I realized like, oh, you really can't have these conversations with every person.
No.
Like not everybody is willing to have these conversations yet. And until they're willing to have those conversations, there's no reason to have those conversations. It's just like when you go to have like, it's just like when people are like, oh, yeah, Jordan's a conspiracy theorist. The second you say that, I realize that there is no possible way for us to have a conversation because you clearly don't know what the fuck is going on.
Are you, Jordan? Do you believe in aliens, Jordan?
Yeah, let's talk about aliens. You want to talk about aliens?
That was being funny. But we can talk about aliens though. Shit.
I think it's fascinating. I think it goes back and forth between its government inventions or like private sector inventions and actual aliens. I do think there is merit. One that I fucking love is ancient civilizations and the thought of them being super advanced and then getting wiped out by the cataclysm, whether it's a volcano, whether it's a a super bad, rainstorm like monsoons getting wiped out, because we know that there's been time periods where the human race, the human population have been knocked down to a couple thousand mating pairs. And we know that this has probably happened a few different times. And so it's very plausible that there were civilizations that took place that we don't really know anything about them. We don't know.
Crazy advanced civilizations.
Crazy advanced, right? The pyramids make no sense.
You can't tell me.
These ancient structures make no sense. They don't make any sense, right? And the people who are like, no, this is how they were built. All right, you're full of shit.
We had these stones. We had these logs, and we rolled it on the logs.
Yeah.
Do you see them big ass bricks? How big that shit is,
dude? They are huge, massive structures. And the nearest place to get those stones from, or those the rock from, was 500 miles away. So if we talk about them in a primitive way, which we typically do when we talk about the past, we talk about them in a primitive way. We assume that they didn't have the technology that we have now, or a different type of technology. Then how the fuck they do that then?
It don't make sense to me, bro.
It doesn't make any sense, right? And so I think, and the more and more we discover, there's a wonderful YouTube channel. She fussing? So there's a wonderful YouTube channel now that Anthony Button.
Yeah.
Fuck. She'll pull it up here in a second. No worries. Who dives into a lot of this stuff, and he was recently on Joe Rogan as well. And the fact that we are arguing about so much dumb shit, and we don't spend more resources on this kind of stuff, is mind-boggling to me. Michael Button, thank you. Michael Button 1 on YouTube. His YouTube channel is fantastic. The fact that we don't spend more time and effort into these kinds of conversations is really mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
Because knowing our past explains so much. Once you understand human nature, you're no longer shocked by the actions of humans.
That's why they're trying to hide it, bro. That's why, it's safe for American history. And they're always trying to take away what happened in slavery, trying to hide it in textbooks. I'm like, nah, don't hide it. Just show it off.
It is what happened.
Let it be broad and clear, bro. This is what happened in history. We fucked up back then.
Yeah.
We better people now.
So let's not repeat it.
Yeah.
Right? That is the reason why, and again, we're talking about sensible people. I feel like anytime you have these discussions, people always want to jump to these extremes, and they were like, what about this group? What about this group? We're talking about most sensible people here in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. When they were pulling down like Confederate statues, it goes like with exactly what you're saying. It's like, it's a reminder of a past that we don't want to relive. And it's a reminder that that's not, and it's also a reminder of that's not how we live anymore, right? And I think that was a lot of the people who were opposing those actions. That's how, again, the sensible people felt about it, where it's like, no, that is, why are we running from something that did happen? We did those things. Those things did happen.
That's what makes us who we are and makes our country who we are. So that's a part of our identity. You can't hide it. It's just like, I wouldn't say it needs to be on the front. It needs to be front and face, but it's just let people know, educate people on it, so we don't repeat that again. I love history, man. I'm a big history person, man. History used to be my favorite subject back in school.
Well, it explains everything.
My history teacher back in high school, his name was Mr. Murphy. Every day he used to like put on History Channel. It was like, today, what happened today in history. I used to learn so much every day, because it's like every day something happened in human history.
Oh, so like every day you would come in, he would reference something that happened in the past based on what day it was? Mm-hmm. That's fucking dope.
That was pretty dope. He was a dope ass teacher, bro.
That's really cool. That's a creative ass idea. See, that's a creative way to teach people, right? And yeah, it's just I do think that there were ancient civilizations that were as advanced as us, maybe even more advanced. But I also believe that maybe they just used their advancedness, their technology, their evolution in a different way that we have.
Interesting.
We have definitely leaned into our monkey side. We care about resources only. We care about territories. And we will do anything to protect those resources, get those resources, take those resources. And that's the path that this version of humans have went down. But that doesn't mean that these ancient civilizations, that they went down that same path, that they also did this. This could be, quote unquote, almost like generational trauma, right? So imagine if there was this cataclysm, maybe like, let's say 3 civilizations ago, right? Like 3, let's say they've dated Homo sapiens back now to about 300,000 years. So let's say 300,000 years ago, the first group of civilization. Everyone's very loving and peaceful and loving each other. There's ample amount of resources. They have everything they ever needed. And so there's just this great sense of community. And then a volcano happens and they get wiped down to a very small population. And resources are a little bit more limited, so people are, a little bit more on edge. And then second civilization comes around, and they're just slightly less harmonious. Huh? No, hominous. Right? Harmony. Harmonious, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Harmonious.
I ain't know the word either.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't helping.
Right? Just discredits everything I've said this entire podcast. This motherfucker didn't know harmonious. Yeah, so, yeah, right? So, this group of people, since they're traumatized by what just happened to this other civilization, maybe they're just slightly less. Right? And then the next civilization, they're slightly less. And then the next, they're slightly less. And then we get to here where it's like, nope, fuck that. We are claiming resources. We're only claiming resources because if this volcano hits again. Not that we're like, we know it, but we're just like, subconsciously, that's what we're thinking. That's what we're worried about. We're worried about being wiped out again as a species. Not again, but we're worried about being wiped out as a species. And so we're like, fucking hog.
Maybe that's why we're looking for like other planets and stuff, maybe like Mars to colonize. So maybe if something ever does happen to Earth, we have a second planet. I wish this country would focus more on the space race more, to be honest with you, in space understanding more what's happening out there. Or at least would understand what's happening underneath our seas, because we know more about space than we actually know about the water here on the planet or what's in our oceans.
There's so much fascinating shit for us to talk about and do, but yet we spend all our time spreading hate, spreading anger, fucking worrying about fucking gender. There's so many fascinating things to talk about. There is 100,000 stars that we know of. 6,000 planets.
Damn.
Why the fuck do we not talk about that? That is cool as hell.
They don't want us to focus on that, man.
That's so cool. There could possibly be something out there on any of those, because from my understanding, when they say 100,000 stars, that essentially insinuates there's 100,000 universes. No, galaxies, Galaxies like ours, like the Milky Way.
You know what's crazy, though? Out of all those, how many of those actually have life? It's probably only 1%. Maybe 0.1%.
Or maybe fucking 60%. We
know.
don't know because we don't spend any time, because it's not profitable. It doesn't get clicks. We're worried about fucking doing monkey shit still.
But also religion, people, whatever, I don't know what people believe in, but I know religion might go against aliens.
Yeah, it's true.
Saying they're higher.
Yeah.
There's some higher. I would say higher beings. That's the wrong word to say. But there are other beings in the sky that might just break what they believe.
But it's true, right? And so there's a lot of distractions. But dude, how cool is that? Like, how cool would it be if we did discover life on another planet? What if it was a completely different species, but they could talk and we could fucking communicate? And it's like Star Wars in this motherfucker. That would be potentially so cool, right? But we lean so hard into our monkey side, where we're just territorial, resource hogging apes.
You know, somebody out there probably thinking, I wonder what alien Badusi smell like. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, somebody said, bro, that alien thick as hell, man.
But we'll never know.
We'll never know because we're not trying to go.
What if there are thick ass aliens out there?
I'm gonna clap them.
That's what I'm like, dude. What? What if there's some aliens out there just with some just thickums, just alien thickums, bro, and they got green skin, and suddenly
she can't have green. She gotta have blue skin for me.
Blue skin, okay. Blue skin, suddenly you realize blue skin women is your thing. Right, like,
yeah,
and we just start cross speciesing like Neanderthals and Homo sapiens.
That'd be crazy.
Isn't that crazy, dude? Isn't that crazy? Neanderthals and Homo sapiens existed at the same time. They were mating from cross species, right? We know that there was a time period where there was about 4 or 5 different hominoids all existing at the same time.
Some short, some tall, some medium. Because, you know, I think early humans were very short.
There were some like Homo flornesis, the people who are kind of like dubbed the Hobbit people that are from Indonesia.
I thought you were talking about the Aztecs.
No. From Indonesia, they were, but they were like, they do like mock drawings of them, and they look like hobbits, where they're covered in hair. They're very tiny. We know that there was Homo delady. We know like Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Neanderthals. I think Homo erectus was before everything, but we're figuring out that Neanderthals were seafaring. Homo erectus were seafaring. We were traveling on boats. Like, these species were not as primitive or as dumb as we thought.
Yeah, they try to make it seem like that. Or make
right? We constantly think that Neanderthals are idiots and that they were less than. But, again, what if their focus was just on different ways? What if they were just smart in different ways about different things? The way that like, being smart is so subjective.
Very much.
Right? Like, people think that you go to...
system make it seem like,
yeah,
if you don't get straight A's in school, you're not smart.
Yeah, trust the experts. Trust the science. Trust the experts.
No.
The uncorruptible science and experts. Yeah. Yeah, like, being smart is so subjective. And people are just smart in different ways. And it goes back to what you're saying. Like, you know, people stop trying to find their path. And that sucks, because then they never really reach their full potential of a human, of being themselves. Like, they never reach their full potential. And yeah, we spend our time worrying about frivolous shit, where we're still fighting wars. In 2025, we're still fighting wars. Like, why? Why are we fighting over borders?
Stupid shit, bro.
Stupid shit, dude. Like today with Charlie Kirk, why are we still shooting people because they have different beliefs? This man wasn't out there hurting anybody. He was having debates on college campuses, even if you didn't agree with the man.
Just don't watch him.
Yeah, don't watch him. And he's not like he wasn't out there harming people. Oh, well, his thoughts were provoking violence. Shut the fuck up. His words were provoking violence.
They slap promote violence. Let me slap.
Bro, like what? Like, that just denies all accountability of people who commit violent acts. Like, anyways, let's end it on a good note. Let's end it on a good note. Let's talk about Belize.
Man, I've been working on this for a while. And you know what's the craziest thing about this, bro? When I thought about the idea, I think I was on mushrooms, bro. It was.
Tell me all about this.
Man, I was like, I took the mushrooms and I was like,
how much?
I think it was like 3.5, bro.
Ooh,
but
good
I don't
time.
know, every time I take 3.5, I be disappointed because I be thinking, all my friends be talking about.
It's that middle ground. It's that middle ground between fun shrooms and meet Jesus shrooms. It's in the middle ground, right?
I want me
3.5.
Jesus, nigga.
That's you need to do like 5, 6, 7 grams. Ooh. I did 7 grams once.
I'm scared to do 7.
Don't be scared. If that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for that, yeah, you have to.
I'm hit my friend Paris. I usually do mushrooms with him. Because anytime I do mushrooms, I hit up my friend Paris.
Yeah.
I got him into it, and he like it. He don't like smoking weed, but he's like, I'll do mushrooms with you, Rodney. I'll do mushrooms. But man, I was
I used to know a guy named Paris.
Cool dude.
Is he older dude?
No, he's a younger dude. He's
Look at me,
he's
just
like a year.
we just know all the same black people.
No, he is black, but he's a year or two younger than me. I met him in the army.
Okay. I used to work with a Paris at Cracker Barrel, but he was in his 40s, and when I was in my 20s, and so I was like, dude, how crazy would it be if we knew the same guy?
That would be crazy. Yeah. I met him in Kuwait, bro. When he was in Kuwait, he was a cook, and we should just like, I knew of him, and he knew of me, but we never were just cool. We had the same friends, but we just weren't cool. And then, man, like army people, I was smoking blacks. You either drink or you smoking army, bro. So I smoked blacks, and we were smoking Black and Miles. That's how we became cool. Then I said, you watch anime, I'll watch anime. You play Naruto, I'll play Naruto. And this shit, boy, started talking shit on the video games, and that's my best friend, bro.
Hell yeah, I love that.
That's my best friend.
I love that. Okay, so you took 3.5.
I took 3.5, man, and I was just thinking of my life, like what I wanted to do. And it's like, okay, I'm in my career I want to be in. I'm a video editor and photographer now. I'm like, I'm happy with that. But what's the next steps? And I remember my manager, Casey, she used to say, Rodney, I want you to do more in the company. I want you, like, even if you don't stay in this company, I want you to develop as a person, develop as a video editor. I love that woman. She's like a sister to me.
I love that.
But then I really just sat down on a mushroom trip and just meditated and thought about, like, what do I want to do next? And I'm like, oh, well, I want to go over to Belize, because I know we usually go to Belize like maybe like once, like every 2 years or something like that, as a company for a production trip to shoot content from or something like that. But I'm like, I want to go back more. I want to do more for the company. So I'm like, it's just because I feel like we're way behind.
So you've already been there first.
Yeah,
you've already been there.
I already been there.
Okay.
We already been on a production trip before. I should have been there last year on the company trip, because we usually have a company like party. The company party is next week, but it's down here in Austin. But the last year's company party was in Belize. We usually just fuck it up out there. So I've been out there at least 2 times. I went out there when I was a kid. My mom took me on the cruise, and then I went out there for the work trip. So I know all the resorts that we own and everything out there, and I've been to all. Well, I've been to all of them. I've been to 2 of them, but I've been to the majority of the resorts. And it was just the idea, like, well, I can do all this content. Why don't y'all send me? You're already paying me to do video editing. And I'm very efficient at my job, so I have a lot of free time. So why not just send me down there to shoot the content as well? I'm not asking y'all. This is how I phrased it. I'm not asking y'all to pay for my housing or my food. I can cook for myself. I can pay for my own housing, because it's just assume I'm just moving there remotely. That's how I phrased it. Like, I want to work remotely in Belize instead of just send me down there and pay for everything for me. Sure, when I go to the resorts, pay for my accommodations, pay for my food and everything, even when I'm at the resort shooting content. But when I'm not there and I'm just out in the country, I'm just like, that's on me. Yeah. Rent's is much cheaper out there.
Sure.
So it's like, rent's cheaper, food's cheaper, a lot of things are cheaper. I'm planning on trying to get a motorcycle out there. I don't know. Maybe it's my little bad boy phase. I want a little motorcycle, bro. Everybody's telling me, don't get one. You hurt yourself.
Motorcycle or moped?
No, motorcycle. I want like a little dirt bike, because Belize is a lot of dirt roads out there.
Okay.
It's some established roads, but it's really no interstates. So I need something that's going to be able to go on dirt and road. So that's why I'm leaning more towards the dirt bike.
Okay. And so do you have to get a work visa? Like, how does this work?
I'm supposed to get a work visa.
So you're getting a work visa.
Yeah, but
got it.
Am I going to?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
Understood. So you're getting a work visa.
It's $100 in order to be over there on your visa. It's $100 every month you have to pay.
So no shit. Okay.
I'm fine with that. That's just okay.
Interesting.
Cool.
So they charge you to stay there.
Yeah, they do charge you just $100, and then I think I've been finding places for rent. I think some of the you can go.
Wait, 100 US?
Yeah. No. Yeah, 100 US.
Damn. Okay.
100 US, 200 Belize, 100 US, because the Belize dollar is half the US
2
dollar.
to 1.
It is 2 to 1, 2 to 1. So I've been looking at places out there. I found some good places for like $700, brother. So I'm happy with that, man.
Yeah.
I'm saving a lot more money, because I pay like $1,200 for rent now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
to go over there and save some money. And all my bills, you know, it's crazy. All my bills over there in Belize would be how much I'm paying for rent here in Austin.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I'm able just to save a lot more money. I'm trying.
That's why people go to Belize. That's why people go to Thailand.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to go back to school through the VRE program as a veteran. So I'm gonna have them just try to take care of my schooling for me, and I can get a housing allowance from them. I can get a housing allowance from them. Words, David. Housing allowance from them. So it'll be like $2,000 a month, and then I'm also going to college. I'll be trying to go to college while I'm working out there in Belize, and then.
What are you going to college for?
Honestly, brother, I'm not trying to go for nothing seriously major. I'm just trying to go for something I love. So I'm going for digital cinematography, but I really want to go for it because I mean it's what I do. School is paid for. Yeah. If I wasn't paying, if I was paying for it, bro, I probably would go for something a little more serious. You feel me? But I'm already in my career field. I really don't need any more education. But the Army's gonna pay me to go to school.
Is there something in particular that you're looking to get from that?
Well, $8,000 camera, but in the technology package, it comes with $8,000 cinema camera, and it comes with a modern day MacBook Pro.
No shit.
And it's free.
Oh hell yeah!
The government pays for it. It's free, so why not take it? And I get education on the industry and learning like what it's like working in the industry, which I already work in the industry. Yeah. I already know what it's like, but I can get more formal education. Plus, it's $2,000 a month. The government pays me $2,000 a month to go to school. Yeah. Why would I take that? Absolutely. I get to do something I enjoy. Yeah. And I'm sure the degree is useless, but I mean, I get paid for it. I get a nice camera.
Most degrees are useless. Fun fact.
Didn't know that.
Most degrees are useless. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you go to apply for a job, it just says a college degree. Very rarely do you need like a degree specific in something, unless you're a lawyer or you're a doctor or something like that. Most degrees are bullshit. You can go to college for underwater basket weaving and probably get a lot of the same jobs as a lot of people.
But if somebody didn't have,
if that's what you enjoy, dude, that's fucking cool.
But if somebody didn't have the same, like it didn't have the government paying for their education, like I was paying, like they're paying for my education, I just wouldn't go. I wouldn't tell them to go. I would recommend you just go in the industry. Yeah. But they paying me. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That's dope. So you're gonna be doing that. You'll be in Belize for a year.
Yes.
Okay. Then what's the plan?
The plan out there. What you mean? What's the plan?
No. Like, are you planning on coming back? Like, do you have a plan?
Oh yeah, I plan on coming back. Have you thought about
that far?
I plan on coming back and just being out there for a year, maybe return January next year. Back. Somebody said that to me. You might
find a wonderful Indonesian woman.
You sound like Tomas. Tomas said the same thing. Tomas said,
and you might never come back, bro. You know how much at peace you're gonna be. Obviously, there's gonna be like certain things that you're gonna have to adjust to, right? Yeah. Certain things that we take for granted over here.
Amazon, right? Like we were just talking about.
There's gonna be a lot of things that you're gonna have an adjustment to, but that's not gonna be a hard adjustment for you, right? We're simple people. We don't get wrapped up in all that bullshit. Yeah. We use it because it's there, but without it, it's not like I'm gonna fall apart. So obviously, there's some things that you have to adjust to. You're gonna adjust to those things, but man, it's just so much more peaceful.
Being by the water.
When I was in Thailand,
simple life,
dude, it's just so much more peaceful. Right? Like it's so fucking go in your face here, right? And there's great things that come from that, great innovations, etc. Right? But there is something to be said about that beach life. You're gonna be able to go into stores without your shirt on because it's a beach town. Dude, that was the best part in Thailand. You can just walk around shirtless and no one cares. Man,
let me tell you a story, bro. When I was out there in Belize last time, my uncle had just passed away, so I was in a very bad space in that time. But when I went over there, bro, so many girls was throwing themselves at me, bro. I was just in the headspace of thinking about my uncle passing away. I didn't give a fuck about them. I didn't care. I'm like, I don't care about you.
But this next time, though, now there's a portion throwing themselves at you because they think you're going to save them.
I'm not saving nobody. What, I look like J. Cole?
There's a little bit of that, right? And so, dude, you're going to have so much fun. What'd you enjoy the most when you were out there last time?
It was the people, brother. Yeah. I always enjoy the people. Maybe that comes from photography background to me. Shout out to Dr. Perez. She used to be my college professor back when I went to college the first time. She we did a lot of photography assignments, a lot of photojournalism assignments, and that was always my favorite part, just learning about people, getting to interview people with my photos and talking to them and telling their stories. So it's just the same going out there. I love hearing what people's life is like, what their culture is like, and how can I implement that into myself and become a better person.
Absolutely. Was there something about their culture in particular that you were fond of?
It was just the niceness about it, just the niceness, the openness about it. It made me feel like family, brother.
Yeah.
I went over there, and I do have to tell you, brother, most of my coworkers I work with are mostly females, but they are fair skin.
Yeah, okay.
White.
Yeah.
They're fair skin.
Yeah.
So it's like they stick out like a sore thumb over there. I go over there, I mean, besides the height, because I mean, people.
Besides you being taller than everybody.
Besides the height.
Kind of blend in, yeah. Even though you're like 2 feet taller than everybody.
Yeah, they just treat me like family over there, bro. It feels different to be in a place where the majority of people around you are black and they're the same color as you, or they're just a slightly off shade of you, of your color. It just feels different.
Sure. Makes sense.
It just made me feel like home. So it's just, I just wanted to go back there again and really just like feel it firsthand of living there. Like, what is this experience like? And then I can document my story on YouTube, document my story on IG or something like that, and tell people how could they get here with their jobs, or maybe what can they do in the future.
Absolutely. I fucking love that. That's awesome. I think you should vlog the entire thing.
I will, man. I'm definitely planning on making a lot of content, man. I got content planned out for the year that I already planned out through ChatGPT. I'm trying to get some more content out before this year is done. I'm not training for any fights no more. Like I said, I'm probably working a second job, but I'm not training for any fights, so I can really focus in on content like I want to. And it's just like, man, I just can't wait, bro.
Yeah, you should, dude. There's a lot that there's a lot of good things. You should, if you want to, man, it'd be so cool to vlog that entire thing, just put together some videos and just pump shit out, and it'd be so much fun.
I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's just the culture about it, bro. This is gonna be so exciting, man.
It's fun, dude. Southeast Asia is wonderful, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful, dude. Thailand, they live by one big code: don't do wrong to others, and they have a beautiful culture.
The people over there are so nice. So
Yeah.
I can't understand when people go over there and be assholes. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Entitlement.
Bro?
Entitlement. They have built up rage that they haven't dealt with. Whatever it is. They don't know how to process their shit. They're still children.
Exactly.
But we said we're going to end on a good note. So. I love it, dude. Thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
you for having me, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime. We'll do it again before you leave. And then when you come back, I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love you to death, brother.
I love you too, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. Get out of here. Let's get out of here.